What's guys, welcome back to another one of my YouTube videos, and this is my longest tech video on my tech channel here. And the first thing that I have to do, since I on my second channel I had a series where I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And actually, right now I have all the cutscenes on my computer now for a compilation video. So basically, I finished the campaign, uploaded all the campaign videos. I haven't uploaded all the cutscene video yet, but I do have 135.7 gigabytes just for this game, and that doesn't even include the save file. So that's probably why I'm running out of storage. I have 767.2 gigabytes of content on here, and I have 832.8 gigabytes here. So yeah, and for the saved data, it's only 28.32, which is actually kind of good. So yeah, so basically, in this video, I'm going to be deleting this file here, both the game and the file. So here we go. Have that there. So that's also, I think. So sometimes my games glitch out. So I think also this, like, not having a lot of storage also contributed to the problem a little bit. But now I have 281.0 gigabytes left, and I only used 591.4 gigabytes out of 832.8 gigabytes. And some of those games I'm going to probably finish soon, like Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, which is 37.57 gigabytes, or like the Red Dead Redemption 1. Next weekend I'm probably going to be playing that game. So like, I'll probably finish a lot of it. Like Red Dead Redemption 1 and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered are the two games that I'll probably delete fully off my system. And then once Red Dead Redemption 2, once I'm done with that, I'll delete it probably. Same thing with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So yeah. So, I have a lot of stuff on here, but after a while, so like in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I'm also going to be having a full-on YouTube series on there, well, YouTube video, well, series technically, though I just play the full game. Not full game, I'll play the game, not fully in one video, just like in multiple parts. Then I'll probably play the full game of Call of Duty Ghosts in one video. So my channel is going to have a long history with Call of Duty, with like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and Call of Duty Ghosts, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. So yeah. And also probably will have a little bit of history with Red Dead Redemption, like my Red Dead Redemption series, the original, so Red Dead Redemption 1 series. So yeah, so a lot. Anyways, let's get into tech after all that. Plus also, in a little while I'll probably hop into like a game on Roblox, since for some reason, like I said, well, since I just installed it like last night, and it was, sometimes it took a little bit of time to load, so like it was kind of glitchy. So I think from me deleting that game after I, finished all the content I wanted to finish with it, I think that is, I think it won't glitch anymore, so yeah. Anyways, let's get into tech with some Apple in the first one here.
excited to announce that this fall, AirPods Pro will have a clinical grade over-the-counter hearing aid feature. We're adding this groundbreaking capability to help more than 1 billion people living with mild to moderate hearing loss. To give you insight into your hearing health, we're introducing a clinically validated hearing test with your AirPods Pro and iPhone. It's a simple 5-minute check you can take from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah. Nice advertising, Apple. So, I had a bunch of things that I wanted to put in one of my videos, but now I don't want to do that video, so I removed those playlists. So yeah.
Introducing the bold vegan flavor of Cheez-Its Friends!
Butler Memorial, Clarion, Frick, Latrobe, and Westmoreland at Independence Health.
The Consumer Electronics Show is happening in Las Vegas this week, which means a tech-linked episode every weekday filmed here in the studio, not on location. Because have you been to Vegas? There's just a layer of slime on everything. It's like it's underwater. Demand for desktop GPUs hit a 20-year low in 2022, according to data from John Petty Research, which I'm sure AMD and NVIDIA are super confused by. Like, guys, we made you these really powerful graphics cards. All we ask in return is all of your money. So Team Red, Green, and Blue have responded the only way they know how, by slashing their orders for more chips from major chip manufacturer TSMC. They're thinking gamers must just not be into GPUs right now, so I guess we'll stop making them? Okay, fine, I'll put a pause on the sarcasm. No one's buying GPUs because despite the supply shortage being alleviated last year, prices are still high, thanks to NVIDIA and even AMD launching their new, quite expensive flagship GPUs, which also seem to carry their own unique burn risks. They're special. That's not to say NVIDIA has totally ignored the budget market. They just launched a new RTX 3050 with a lower TDP of 115 watts, so you can save a few cents on your power bill. You know, they really know about the concerns of the people. India will be mandating the use of USB-C ports for charging portable electronics weeks after similar legislation from the EU finally got final approval or was signed into law or got a lot of votes or something. Honestly, I feel like I've reported on that story like 18 times. India's reasons for the mandate seem similar to the EU's. They want to make life easier for consumers, reduce e-waste to protect the environment, and make Apple do something they don't want to do because that's funny. The Bureau of Indian Standards would require mobile devices to use USB-C by March 2025, although the rules also make room for a second standard charging method for smartwatches and other wearables. It's also important to note that Apple might be able to shimmy its way out of rules like this by making a portless iPhone that charges via MagSafe, since laws like these often have terms saying you have to use USB-C for wired charging. But I really hope Apple does make at least one official USB-C iPhone, just so we have it, because then we have it. And like I said, you'll want to prepare yourselves for some hot tech news from CES this week. Usually we have a few pre-show announcements to report on, but for the most part so far, we've only gotten some press releases from Samsung about monitors. One is about the 8K ultra-wide, which is not really 8K, so it's kind of annoying that they keep calling it that. They announced that in November. Monitor specs are already confusing enough as it is. And another press release is about a color-calibrated 5K monitor meant to compete with similar models from Apple and LG. Although Samsung did also announce a smart oven with an internal camera that can recognize over 100 dishes so it can cook them automatically while you stream footage of it to Twitch. Now that is a taste of the good, weird CES stuff, pun intended. LG also announced their 2023 lineup of TVs. No, I don't care. It's too normal. Give me the smart robot toilets and sentient pillows. That's what CES is about. Now it's time for CES Quick Bits, brought to you by Seasonic, the legendary power supply brand known throughout the realms for their ridiculous reliability and for their sponsoring of TechLink CES coverage. I love them. And right now, Seasonic has a special promo with Newit. Use code LOVELMG. I didn't even know that it was going to be that. To save $10 on Seasonic's Focus FM series power supplies. And guess what? They got cool MagFlow fans now.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Right First. And in this video, I'm going to be trying to do a bunch of stuff on my iPad now to, try to change the battery to 10%. So yeah. See how long it would take.
They're not just quick. Don't put them in a box. Benchmarks have leaked for upcoming NVIDIA cards, indicating that the unlaunched RTX 4080 12GB, aka the 4070 Ti, performs about as well as the RTX 3090 Ti, at least in 3D Mark. Another leak showed the unreleased laptop version of the RTX 4090 performing better than the desktop 3090 in Geekbench. But why am I telling you this when NVIDIA's GeForce event at CES is going to start in a matter of hours? They'll probably give you all sorts of reliable information that you can take at face value. When they say it's a 4080, it's a 4080. Multiple reports are claiming that Chinese smartphone giants Oppo and Huawei have made progress in designing and manufacturing their own in-house chipsets, which would reduce their reliance on non-Chinese suppliers. Huawei's designed their own chips for a while, but they recently filed a patent describing an extreme ultraviolet or EUV lithography process, which enables the production of higher-end chips. So once they launch phones without any non-Chinese parts, at least you can be more confident that they're spying on you. I mean, at least I know now. It's the uncertainty that gets me. Netflix has ads now, at least for their cheapest tier, and according to Jeremy Zimmer, head of Hollywood's United Talent Agency, that means Netflix content creators should be getting a cut of ad revenue, because Netflix has turned them into YouTubers, basically. Now, that argument would be pretty solid if Netflix was making a lot of money off ads, which it doesn't appear to be. Only 9% of new Netflix signups in the US were for the ad-supported tier, causing Netflix to actually have to pay back advertisers for some of their ad spending. So maybe Adam Sandler should consider YouTube, or Floatplane. Can you imagine we get some Adam Sandler Floatplane exclusives? I wouldn't watch them. The royalty-free AV1 video codec has had a hard time breaking into the mainstream, but popular transcoding app Handbrake has added official AV1 support in the latest version. So, now watch all the cards fall. Okay, fine, the app doesn't support NVIDIA or AMD's implementations of the codec yet, but That will probably come soon, hopefully before some tech giant or another realizes that letting an open source standard that lets people run things faster without paying them money might be a bad idea. And Sam Bankman-Fried, released on bail after being arrested in relation to the collapse of the FTX exchange, just can't stop himself from commenting on stuff that he probably shouldn't. Like recent news that crypto wallets associated with Alameda Research, the sister company of FTX, have been spotted transferring out funds. None of these are me, SBF tweeted. That's right, bud. Maintained innocence, even though your buddies all pled guilty to federal charges. Look, I'm not saying he's definitely guilty. Like, let the trial play out. I'm just telling him to shut up. Stop talking. Speaking of which, I'll tell you my advice now. But you should come back tomorrow for more tech news. Different advice for different people. You should never stop talking. We need your voice in this time. It's day 2 of TechLink CES coverage, but it's actually like day -1 for CES because the show technically starts on January 5th, which is Thursday, at which point everyone is already kind of sick of CES.
Welcome to the pre-show, baby.
Hey, you got exclusive backstage access. NVIDIA started day -1 off with a bang, or several bangs. The first bang is RTX 40 series GPUs for laptops, with top-end RTX 4090 and 4080 equipped models starting at $2,000 and launching February 8th.
Oh, someone called Ricky Martin.
With the lower-end models coming by February 22nd starting at $1,000. You might say that's expensive before you hear that they have tri-speed memory, which you didn't even know you wanted. NVIDIA also said they're bringing GeForce Now support to some cars made by Hyundai, Polestar, and BYD, which is a brand. They're a Chinese brand. So the cloud gaming service's new RTX 4080 SuperPods can deliver ray trace gameplay at 240 frames per second to trust fund kids in the backseat. These are expensive cars. Well, lovely what?
Hyundai.
Cute Hyundai.
Hyundai.
I'm anglicizing it. And last but not least, NVIDIA's officially unlaunching the RTX 4080 12GB as the RTX 4070 Ti on Thursday. And they're even dropping the price by $100 to $800. They didn't have to do that. Nice. Of course, NVIDIA hasn't shown a Founders Edition model, meaning they're probably all going to be partner-made cards priced well above $800. As a cherry on top, NVIDIA claimed the 4070 Ti performs up to 3 times faster than the 3090 Ti, and backed it up with one of their beloved graphs showing that's maybe true for one game, because DLSS 3 doesn't work on the 30 series. But pointing that out isn't in the spirit of CES. It's all about making big claims, and then distracting the audience with the next thing, which we shall now do right now. Intel unveiled 16 more 13th gen desktop processors, meaning the lineup now includes 23 SKUs, ranging from the Core i3-13100T, little baby guy, to the Core i9-13900KS. That's the Charizard, by the way. I was going to use a more modern Pokemon, but I don't.
Typhlosion? That's more modern.
Typhlosion. The lineup now has low-power T models, graphics-less F models, and deep-fried KFC models. I didn't have to do that one. I didn't have to. I wish I didn't. Team Blue also thought it was time to let 13th gen laptop CPUs out of the bag with 9 new chips featuring 10 to 24 cores, including the Core i9-13980HX, the world's fastest mobile processor utility, and he says the same thing about one of theirs. But more exciting than that was the announcement that Intel's XeSS upscaling feature would work on integrated graphics, enabling up to a 30% performance boost. So, I guess it's okay that Intel quietly raised the listed prices of its 12th gen processors on its Arc Online database, meaning that the announced prices for the new 13th gen models are actually lower than their predecessors, meaning that Intel most likely planned to do things this way so the new chips don't look as good. Were previous CES announcement this shady? I know it's Vegas.
Or someone lined us the box of 12th gen chips.
They just dropped it?
They just dropped them all.
And Dell didn't have a big keynote today, but they had to get on the hype by announcing what might be the world's first publicly available 500Hz IPS gaming monitor, depending on what ASUS has to say about their previously announced but not launched 540Hz display. At CES, you gotta wait for your cue. They'll use a big hook to take you off like in the olden times. Dell subsidiary Alienware also announced a slew of laptops with upgraded internals and exterior design. The G series in particular were described by our new TechLink writer as, what did say?
Elrond aesthetic?
No, you said it was cute.
Oh, okay, that's it.
And there was also an update to Alienware's Concept Nix edge computing system announced 2 years ago, which involves everybody in a house gaming or computing with edge devices connected to a central PC. And the new controller design has a fingerprint reader and other options for personalization, and they even threw in a Steam controller-style touchpad. It hasn't gained traction yet because people just don't understand it. It just needs to be given a chance. Like our sponsor for TechLink CES coverage, Seasonic. Except I was being sarcastic when I said that about the controller, but I'm being serious now. Give Seasonic a chance, and they won't let you down. They've been making power supplies for like a million years, which is why when they work with Newegg to give you $10 off a Focus FM series power supply by using promo code LOVELMG, it's no joke! They also have these super cool new MagFlow fans with a fancy magnetic connection system that makes installation simple and clean. You're going to hear this from me a lot this week, but I would die for Seasonic. That's not true. I would sustain an injury for them, though. Check them out at the link below. If I call this section Quick Biscuits, do you think LMG could hire someone to bring me mid-episode snacks?
I think you could use the South and the UK.
They both have biscuits. Acer announced some products that embrace the spirit of weird CES a bit more. There's a new Predator Helios laptop, 250Hz mini LED screen, kind of unusual, cool. The Acer Halo Swing is a smart speaker equipped with Google Assistant, RGB lighting at the base, an understated LED array on the front, and a handle for portability.
Let's guys look
What
back
is-
to some
It's
of
weird.
videos.
What is
And
this,
if this is
2018? And best of
I
all,
am
the
going
eConnect,
to
a
be
desk with an integrated stationary bike
trying
that
to use
generates
all my
power to
battery
recharge your laptop and phone. That's what I'm
on
talking about.
nice-
It's weird. Save the planet and your mind.
well,
because
trying
now
to
you're
use all my
thinking about
battery
this
on
and not
my
how
iPad
sleazy
now.
NVIDIA and Intel are. Apple
Sort
doesn't
of.
usually show up at
And,
CES, but
I
this
don't
year,
know if I
leaks about the
could
company's
be
long
able to
in
do
development
it
mixed reality
in the
headset
time
did
frame that I have
report
now.
from the information
So I had
page
to
device
start
will have
making
a
a
waste
note when I
about the
finish at
battery, a la
3
Dash
a.m.
Leap.
So I
A
might not be able
123
to,
field view like the Valve
get this
Index,
game,
more than
get
160
this
degrees
down to
FOV on
10%.
the Meta Quest
I
Pro.
don't know.
And a digital crown like the Apple Watch that users will be able to use to switch between the physical and virtual world, which will definitely not be called a metaverse. They said they wouldn't.
Like if you look in the mirror, you're wearing a crown and you're wearing the headset.
Because you're the king of this metaverse, baby. I hope it also has like a siren like the Apple Watch Ultra for if you get lost. What server am I on? In other Apple news, the company has raised the price of replacing an out-of-warranty iPhone battery for the iPhone 13 lineup and older by $20. Now this is interesting in the following context. In 2018, when it was discovered that Apple was throttling the speed of older iPhones as their battery degrades, Apple dropped the cost of battery replacements to just $30. But by 2019, they bumped it up to $70. And now they're bumping it up again. Why? Inflation? Money. I think it's money. Google has announced Jigsaw, a free software tool that smaller websites can use to identify and remove terrorist material. So of course it makes sense to name it after a fictional serial killer. Many have expressed concerns about AI-powered moderation tools, so hopefully normal people don't get caught in the crossfire, and the tool blocks only actual terrorists, like people who threaten to kill their coworkers over putting up a Christmas tree too early. James isn't here, but we're throwing shade at him.
That's a valid shot.
And let's end with a weirder yet cool CES product, the AWOL Vision Vanish. It's a short throw laser projector that also packs speakers and even a retractable self-standing screen into a single cabinet for $16,000.
Let's guys
Now, hold
look
on.
back
That's
to
really
that from my
120.
YouTube reels.
Oh,
So if you're still waiting on this month's pay, you can settle for the 100-inch model at $15,000. It's not, they understand where you're at.
deal.
I-
My wallet.
I can't wait to see what other insane products force themselves into my consciousness this week. So come back tomorrow to see how I'm
Let's
holding
guys
up
look
in my
back to
life.
that. Damn, 32 minutes. Let's guys look back to that from my YouTube reels. And in this YouTube reel, I am going to be doing, I'm going to be trying, technically, to get my battery from 100% to 10% cell on my iPad.
Hey, remember me, the tech news, mustache that definitely has legs and isn't just a torso that levitates off the ground? I'm a real
Yeah.
person, you silly. Asus has announced a world's first
Okay,
for
what's
monitor.
CapCut?
The Taiwanese company made the groundbreaking engineering achievement of the year by
Why is
designing a
it
stand with movable feet.
What's this?
So it can walk away when it's sick of your bulk. I'm sure this feature will really make the world's first 520Hz refresh rate monitor stand out from the competition
Alright,
for
so
a reason
this
other
is
than
from
that one.
the
Of course, they didn't stop there. Their newest ZenBook Pro 16X will have a new core chip design called Supernova that puts the RAM modules on the same die as an Intel processor, just like a smartphone SoC or the Apple Silicon chips. Just what I've always wanted. Another laptop I can't upgrade. Innovation. The company claims that this design reduces the motherboard area and allows for better cooling to increase performance. Keeping the laptop train chewing, Asus unveiled two big ol' 18-inch gaming laptops. Finally, gamers can see more on-screen action for probably about 37 seconds on a single charge. There's a trade-off. Speaking of power-hungry screens, Asus decided 2023 is the year for glasses-free 3D OLED displays, which will be featured on two of their creator-level laptops. For the meager price of a high-end laptop, you'll finally be able to emulate 3DS games the way they were meant to be.
Why don't you shut down the shop, Nintendo?
Hopefully Asus doesn't take some other cues from Nintendo too. They suck! LG announced a new OLED TV that doesn't have inputs. Who needs those? Instead, you plug your devices into their Zero Connect box, which streams audio and 4K 120Hz video directly to the TV.
You never take my input, Riley.
I'm taking it right now. Oh, I'm reading your script right now.
Yes, I know.
What do you want from me? LG proudly states it's the world's first wireless OLED TV, which is true if you pretend that the Displace TV, the world's first wireless OLED TV, doesn't exist.
Just put your hands in your ears and shout la la la. You can do whatever you want.
To be fair, there's a lot of world's first, measuring going on at CES, so that comparison is especially embarrassing since the LG's TV still needs a power cord. Bush League, while competitor Displace claims their TV has a battery that will last for about 30 days
Consistent
between
take by
charges.
force. I don't know if this
Take it
will
with you.
take
You
by
have
force
the
or
world's
something.
largest phone. But
That's
hey,
fair.
world's first mostly wireless OLED TV. That's too long of a title. In other LG news, they showed off their new Ram-style laptop that features an invisible
Because
touchpad you can only
that's
see
the
when you
reason
touch
this is
it. I can't believe
good
Hollywood
buy.
hasn't stolen that
So,
idea from a
yeah.
horror movie monster yet. But I can believe no one stole LG's mood-up, color-changing fridge because, well, society just isn't cyberpunk enough for that yet. Maybe in 20 years when Arasaka takes over, all of the corpos who can actually afford fridges will want to buy one they can make purple when they're just, I don't know, just feeling a little bit silly that day. Feeling like I want this augmentation. I feel like a naughty little mini government. And Samsung announced a new lineup of
Hold on.
micro LED TVs.
Quick.
They claim that their new panels are good for 2 nanosecond response times, theoretically making them 500,000 times faster than a 1 millisecond gaming monitor, and making PC gamers' math inaccurate by an order of magnitude. Our new TechLink writer, right over there, checked his math, but didn't check the script.
You know what? Cut that out, Hoffman. I want to look good.
So I want to keep that. In relevant tech news, Samsung also announced some updates coming to this year's version of their Freestyle portable projector. The 2023 model will include Samsung's smart TV platform and gaming hub, allowing you to access game streaming services like Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now wherever there's a conveniently placed white wall, where before you could put anything else. They've also revealed a patented smart edge blending technology that can combine the output of two Freestyle projectors into one large 21:9 or even 16:15 display. Or, instead of spending $1,600 on two 1080p projectors, maybe you could, I don't know, buy a 4K TV that has the added benefit of working in bright rooms? Forget I said that. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's stupid. I don't know why.
Stupid. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by my favorite brand in the world, Seasonic. Right now, they're working with Newegg for a special promo, which they don't do every day. These guys, I love them. Use code LOVELMG to save $15 on Seasonic's Focus FM power supplies over at Newegg's site. Also be sure to keep an eye out for their super cool new MagFlow fans. Okay, I didn't even know about these before this, but they feature an intuitive magnetic connection system that makes installation and cable management easier than ever. You thought Seasonic was just cool because they have been making power supplies since you were a tiny baby, or maybe probably before? It's also because of this. So check out their Focus FM promo and learn more about MagFlow at the links below. I'll call you tonight, Seasonic. It used to be called Quick Bites, but I was attacked by a flock of geese as a child, and I made a vow to never bite anyone as quickly as I was that day. In EA Blew It Again news, the games publisher revealed that any Madden NFL 23 player that that logged into connected franchise mode during a 22-hour outage last week has had their saves corrupted by a data storage issue. The spirit of John Madden is in the files.
I'm mad.
What's worse, only 40% of affected saves are recoverable. Even worse than that, an official account tweeted that it should be safe to play CFM during that 22-hour period. I guess EA stands for Everything's Aflame. We don't know where we put your saves. I'm sorry. Microsoft is incorporating OpenAI's ChatGPT large language model into Bing, because maybe that will make people want to use it for something other than redirecting to Google. Microsoft has already announced that the DALL-E 2 image generator will be integrated into Bing's image function. ChatGPT integration is even more exciting, because for the first time, Bing will be adding results to its service. Never thought we'd see the day. Google has appealed a ruling by the Competition Commission of India after it issued the tech giant a $161 million fine for manipulating Play Store search results. Google says the ruling plagiarized language from a similar EU ruling over 50 times, indicating that India hadn't done their own examination of the evidence, but had simply copied Europe's instead. And if India hands this into the prof, they could get suspended from the University of Antitrust. You're going to have to go to the principal's office. I'm not sure what international law says about creative ownership of anti-competition rulings, but India could also consider just getting ChatGPT to reword things instead.
But then they have to use Bing.
Not yet! Roku is pulling an Amazon and making their own dang TVs. The new Roku Select and Roku Plus series include 11 models with screen sizes ranging from 24 to 75 inches and prices starting at just $119 and going as high as $1,000.
Well, once again, welcome back to
Of course,
Right
like
to
Amazon,
Real
the
Project
Roku
things.
TVs are probably
And
largely
this
designed
video,
by
I'm
Roku,
going to
but
put
still
in all of
manufactured by
the
partners
like
TCL
photos and
Hisense, but
videos that I
having a
have
brand
on my
look box
tablet
is
now.
just
So
confusing.
yeah.
Who made the TV? It's a yes or no answer. And Withings, the French company known for making, fancier smart home and wearable products for the elite, announced U-Scan, a device that will tell you what's in your pee, and maybe why it's been that weird color recently. Which is great for people who don't appreciate getting weird looks from doctors. Look, I had a lot of borscht this week. I love carrots.
Isn't it beets?
Borscht is made from beets. Borscht beets Battlestar Galactica. And as a bonus, the U-Scan looks like a Chromecast that plugs into your toilet bowl. Except instead of streaming videos to your TV, you're streaming your urine to your phone.
Streaming to the stream, baby.
Man, Grandma had trouble understanding email. Try explaining this tech to her. And you're going to want to stream tomorrow's episode of TechLink. You can even do it in the bathroom. We won't tell anybody. You should probably drink more water. That's kind of concerning. You have what problem? Oh. We're on day 4 of TechLink CES coverage, but today was only officially day 1 of CES. So what? Everything before now is just a warm-up? Well, at this rate, I'm gonna be hotter than a 4090. At their event, AMD introduced some tasty new CPUs, but also foreshadowed a dark AI future for Windows. We'll start with the bright stuff, though. The successor to the popular Ryzen 7 5800X 3D gaming CPU has been announced. Actually, it has 3 successors. One with 8 cores, one with 12, and one with a whopping 16. Based on the launch of the 5800X 3D, I cannot wait for these things to come out, crush absolutely everything else at gaming benchmarks, and be permanently sold out everywhere. AMD also unveiled their Ryzen 7000 mobile CPU lineup and announced that their new 7040 series has a dedicated AI engine called Ryzen AI. Wow. Lisa Su says that this engine is 20% better than Apple's M2 engine. Are we talking cars or chips at this point? Anyway, she proved the only way that tech companies know how to market is using colorful graphs covered in vague statements with some kind of relationship with cars. I mean, remember when Intel came up with i3, i5, and i7? That's just BMW! Su then invited Microsoft executive Panos Panay onto the stage, who stated that AI is going to reinvent how you do everything on Windows. It's worth noting, by the way, that OpenAI is in an exclusive computing relationship with Microsoft, which could mean ChatGPT embedded in Windows 11. And is this in TechLink yet? They've already announced that it's going to be built into Bing.
Yes.
We talked about that yesterday. Wild, right? Anyway, that could be bad news for students in New York City, since they have been banned
from using the chatbot. I hope they like Chromebooks because public schools can't afford Apple's prices. Sony CES announcements leaned into the unconventional this year with the reveal of Project Leonardo, a customizable controller to make PlayStation 5 gaming more accessible. In a blog post, SIE Senior Vice President Hideaki Mishino? Good. Said that accessibility is an important topic to us at PlayStation, which is why, of course, they waited more than 4 years after Microsoft released their adaptive controller to do something about it. There were more revelations to be had, though, as Sony also revealed the name of the electric vehicle car brand that they created in cooperation with Honda. Afeela. Because at the heart of mobility is the word feel. I actually didn't make that up. That is a direct quote from the presentation and not some sort of Cars fan fiction written by Nicholas Sparks. You know, I thought it was sort of poking fun at Nintendo about the whole Chris Pratt Mario thing. I feel like I'm making a car! Of course, Sony knows what everyone really came to CES for. Movie announcements. As Sony announced a Gran Turismo movie being directed by District 9 creator Neil Blomkamp and featuring actors like David Harbour and Orlando Bloom. He's back! I mean, I would have liked to see a demo of the PSVR 2 instead of a movie announcement at CES, but hey, Sony, you do you. And Lenovo decided to info dump harder than a Kojima video game this year. The company decided to enter the e-ink space with their upcoming smart paper tablet. But wait, if you presumably give them even more money for a different e-ink screen, it will come with a free laptop, because the e-ink tablet is attached to the laptop. It's called the ThinkBook Plus Twist, and the twist is that the e-ink screen is on the back of the main OLED display with a twist hinge to allow you to, boom, twist, swap between its two screens. And if you like that thing, you're gonna love Lenovo's new YogaBook 9i, whose twin 13-inch displays are OLED this time around. In a surprising break from dual-screen products, Lenovo also announced Project Kronos, essentially a set-top box that allows for motion capture without any physical apparatus. That sounds an awful lot like the Xbox Kinect. Is this deja vu? And the remnants of Motorola, who were bought by Lenovo, are making a business-oriented ThinkPhone with apparently better security and productivity, which isn't that just BlackBerry? That doesn't sound that original, Lenovo. You guys tried adding another screen? Now it's time for the Buckwhat's brought to you by Seasonic. Right now, they're working with Newegg for a special promo. Use code LOVELMG to save $15 on Seasonic Focus FM series power supplies over at Newegg's site. Also, be sure to keep an eye open for their MagFlow fans, which feature an intuitive magnetic connection system that makes installation and cable management easier than ever. So check out their Focus FM promo and learn more about MagFlow at the links down below. Excuse me, I need to get the Buckwhat's out of storage. They said I'm supposed to take the elevator, but I see them right over there, so we'll go. I knew they were going to get me on that elevator somehow. Facial recognition allegedly put an innocent man behind bars. Randall Reed was pulled over by police and told that he was wanted for a robbery in Louisiana, a state he had never even been to. Reed happens to be black, which has been known to affect the accuracy of facial recognition software. In the computer's defense, apparently not even the police officers noticed the 40-pound weight difference between Reed and the actual suspect, which is yet another example of why facial recognition is a potentially dangerous technology. We need, like, whole body recognition. Yeah, I mean, that's clearly not my penis. In other news, keeping your PlayStation 5 upright may damage your console. According to some console repairers, the liquid metal thermal interface material that is used to cool the APU can leak around the processor and kill some components. YouTuber The Coder showed the issue would not occur had Sony applied a coating around the APU. But, I mean, how could they have had time for that when they were working on Gran Turismo the movie? If only we could have told them that this was going to happen. Haha. MagSafe style technology is coming to Android phones, according to the specifications for the upcoming Qi 2 charging standard. The new tech will keep devices aligned with charging pads using magnets, just like Apple's solution. This marks the second time I can remember where Android took an idea from Apple, the first being when they removed the audio jack, so I guess this is what it feels like when they steal a good idea. It's fuzzy. Yesterday, AMD finally admitted that faulty heat sinks are causing massive junction temperatures on their 7900 XTX graphics cards. In an official statement, the company said they believe this to be the cause of the thermal throttling, and they are committed to solving the issue. I suppose that after the public backlash that they got for claiming that 110-degree temperatures were normal, and then the public backlash they got over their refusal to accept returns on the faulty cards. Not to mention the multiple independent investigators doing their job for them, AMD proactively took action to humbly admit their mistake. And Apple has quietly implemented a new digital narration feature for its audiobooks to allow publishers to use one of two AI voices to read their books aloud to customers. Apple claims that the tool is meant to promote independently published authors, but some are fearful for the future of the narration industry. First, AI came for the artists, and I said nothing because I was not an AI artist. Then it came for the programmers, and I said nothing because I'm not a programmer. And now, not even LeVar Burton is safe anymore. Think of Morgan Freeman! And think of tomorrow's tech news, because it's going to be real weird. You thought the smart device that analyzes your urine was weird in yesterday's episode? Just you wait.
The newest spicy cheese-it superstar is... It's the Crunch! Fight me!
Employers don't hire diplomas, they hire skills. At WGU School of Technology, you'll earn both, with a degree backed by industry certifications that prove you're job ready. Learn more at WGU.edu.
New processors, faster TVs, yeah, CES has a lot of exciting new tech, but it has even more tech that makes you go, huh? And, okay. So for our last CES video, we're going to cover the weird stuff first, and I won't apologize. Don't you apologize either. Stand tall. BMW showed off a concept car called the iVision D that can make faces and even talk to you.
Hi, Vision D. Nice to meet you.
The windshield doubles as a display. The windows are dimmable and can even project a virtual avatar of yourself on the sides of the vehicle. You don't need to have an authentic interaction with another human being from the side of your car again. Why would you need to? You have D now. D is the only friend you need. Beep, beep, beep. After 2 years since they released the concept, Ring has finally debuted its Always Home Cam, a security drone that flies around your home while you're away like something out of a stealth video game.
Argon.
What is that?
That was my approximate imitation of David Hayter, former voice of Sultan.
In an invite-only presentation, the company confirmed that you teach the drone the layout of your home in the cutest way by taking it for a little walk around the house. Oh, wait, that's the
Here's my
planner.
fridge.
This is the planner I got in Vegas. A French startup called SkyTed unveiled a mask that silences your voice to those around you so you can have private phone calls in public places. All you have to do is answer the call, then ask the caller to hold on while you fish your expensive Bane cosplay out of your bag and put it on. The CEO demoed the ability of the mask by wearing it while in an anechoic chamber. Or, hear me out, he might have just pretended to speak. We can't know. It's not like we can see his mouth. SkyTed is not the first company to enter this space, so I'm sure they will face stiff competition from the Hush Me and the general practice of just leaving the room. Are you too rich to touch your baby stroller? I couldn't possibly. A startup based in Vancouver, Canada hopes so. They've developed a hands-free baby stroller with a $3,330 price tag. Why so many threes?
Satan?
Because every baby is half a Satan. It uses machine learning for navigation and will automatically stop when it encounters obstacles or if it strays too far from whoever is chaperoning the extravagant child holder.
It's like being Mando, but like way stupider.
Based on the price tag and purpose, it's probably meant for celebrities who are afraid of Piers Morgan trying to emasculate them for using a baby carrier. This is a reference to Piers Morgan
making
fun of Daniel Craig
Making fun of Daniel Craig
right.
for the crime of strapping his child to his chest.
So if you've seen that,
Laugh.
beauty company L'Oréal, or as we say on this side of Canada, Hair, decided to show up at CES with two products. The Hapta is a handheld motorized makeup applicator for people with limited hand arm mobility, which they debuted using lipstick. It's pretty cool. Their second is the Brow Magic, which is designed to apply eyebrow makeup by printing it on your face. You can customize the brow look with a companion app, or you can let L'Oreal's Modiface AI
I think it's modest.
Multiphase. Anyways, the AI makes recommendations using augmented reality and your phone's camera. Hopefully, the AI doesn't have delusions of grandeur and try to use my face as proof that its kind can be creative.
I didn't ask for the Greg Rukowski.
the road first, and then we'll talk. The car can perform vertical takeoff and landing, and can fly up to 250 miles on a single charge. It can drive on the road too. Oh, okay. But I don't know its driving range because they didn't say.
So now, I am going to hop on Roblox because, like I said earlier, it was kind of like laggy, and I made it up. Well, not made it up. Well, I made it up to go. I don't know what I'm going to say. It was part my I probably had too much stuff on my computer. I had too much stuff on my PlayStation. That's what I said. But also, technically, I didn't. You know, I only have like not even 30 things downloaded on my PlayStation. What? Oh, it is taking a little bit to load into this game. Plus also I see boat sinking. So yeah. And it's still laggy. Kind of. What's this? What's this guy doing here? Wow. This guy. I don't think he's this ship. This guy's on his own. Also not, he also not. Okay, he's in the ship now. I'm just leaving now. Why is this guy following me around? Why is this why does he have C? What is happening? Why I'm leaving before that thing, sinks, because that thing's sinking. Yeah, that thing, I think there's a guy on it too. So, it isn't as laggy as before. Or at least as of for now it isn't. So it's still kind of this, but most of the time it isn't. And why is that? is happening? Is somebody on my boat now? Why can't I just have a chill time on my nice boat without somebody annoying me? Yeah, my back exploded. Well. Oh. Okay, so I think this guy doesn't realize I'm underwater. Can't I just have, yeah, like I said, why can't I just have a chill time with a boat? Why does he also have to follow me? So, how do we go forward? Or I'm not even in the driver's seat. Finally. Where did that go? I'm kind of in the middle now of the... Somebody hit a Facebook. Anyways, my boat finally sunk. So I just respawned. Nobody sent any kind of help out for me. Plus also, what can I want a big boat. So then if it sinks, it takes a long time too. And I'm having fun here. So that's what I think. I don't know. Why is it, So, well, I want to take control of the ship. Without anybody, causing any damage to it. Where can I take control of the ship? And above, where can I go up? Those stairs. But those stairs lead to nothing. I think somebody's on a ship. No, nobody is. Nobody is. Let's hope nobody will be. Well, can I get to the top of this? This ship here. Oh, I made it to the top. I just need to make it to the, Okay, I made it. I think I made it to the control center. I could have done that. Wow. But I made it. What? Okay, why would it sail? Sail. I don't want to be one of these. Chow. My boat got thrown up. Well, at least he part of it did. It's still going though. Update, it isn't. Why will nobody come? Please. Oh. The front of my ship is broken. Kind of. Yeah. I kind of need some help out there. Okay, now I can call for an SOS. Because my ship's sinking. And I did call for an SOS, but, guess what? The button failed. It's both blew up even more. Boo. Why am I having so much fun with this? So I'll jump cut to when I'm done playing this game. So now I'm in a steamship. I had a little bit of a internet problem. You could, I guess. Now I'm in a steamship there's a boat sinking. My boat is barely moving for some reason. Even though I have it at 100% throttle. Okay, now it is kind of glitching out. It is kind of glitching out still. Oh wow! Really crashing into my own boat. Help me, please, help me, get it, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Thank you. Okay, there's a nice pedestrian on this boat. Help me. I think it's a... What is that? I think that's a frog. Okay, now we'll just go in somewhere. I don't know where. I'll give you a report soon. Fell off and drowned. Now I just don't know what to do now. Like I said, there's a car going. So yeah. So I gave you a report. I had some internet issues. Plus also I lost one of my cars in the ocean. So yeah. Well, I'm out of that. I got 30% of the trophies for good old Roblox. And tomorrow, during like rain time, I could start a live stream or play for like 3 hours. And during those 3 hours, I play one Roblox game for 1 hour. It also follow a Roblox connection into a Roblox experience. You follow a Roblox connection into a Roblox experience. So, yeah, I guess. And also, I think I got a few notifications on here, which I did. So yeah. So that's just this video. I shall have done episode 9. I think. I need public. Yes. So yeah.
Protecting what you care about is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. That's why we have a plan to protect just about anything, like this car and this awesome bike. This golf cart, it's protected. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Consumer Electronics Show has officially begun in Las Vegas, and we'll be bringing you all the highlights from right here in our regular studio, where it's safe and clean, and not a desert. It's sand. The Wi-Fi Alliance announced that they have officially confirmed the Wi-Fi 7 standard, and they've already started to certify devices to ensure they work together. Unlike me and Selena, that was never gonna last. The new standard will have twice the channel bandwidth of Wi-Fi 5, 6, and 6E, making it better for, surprise, surprise, high bandwidth streaming. The Alliance listed several use cases that will benefit from the improvements of the new standard, like hybrid work, mixed reality, And real thing they wrote that totally isn't boomer coded, electronic gaming. One of the biggest improvements introduced by Wi-Fi 7 is multi-link operation. Instead of connecting your device to just the 2.4 gigahertz band or just the 5 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz band, you can essentially connect to two or all three of them simultaneously. The connection will then default to whatever band is fastest. This should also reduce latency, since having three bands available at the same time should reduce the queue on each of them. If that sounds exciting, you don't have to wait for Wi-Fi 7 devices. Qualcomm, for example, has announced several designs that use the standard and say their FastConnect 7800 module, already found in their Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and 3 chips, are certified. Technically, Wi-Fi 7 routers came out months ago too. They just aren't certified. Unlike Selena. That's actually how we met. But I broke it up.
We're happier for it.
AMD has officially announced the RX 7700 XT, the first 16GB DRAM card under $500 this generation. That's important because 16 gigabytes is the minimum memory requirement for generative AI applications like Stable Diffusion, and that means for just $329, the MSRP of the 7600 XT, you can make an artist cry. Or at least you can once the card launches on the 24th of this month. Speaking of cards we already knew existed but are now officially announced, NVIDIA was...
Oh, I'm good to the bathroom, so yeah. My dog was in my bathroom. So now she is on my bed.
so excited to unveil
So, yeah.
the new 40 series super cards at CES, they only talked about AI for like 20 minutes first. Team Green confirmed the rumored prices we discussed last week and revealed release dates. The 4070 Super arrives January 17th for $600, followed by the 4070 Ti Super on the 24th for $800. The 4080 Super launches at the end of the month for $1,000, $200 less than the 4080 non-Super. NVIDIA took a lot of pride in comparing the cards to the previous generation. According to the company, when using DLSS 3, the 4080 Super is 2 times faster than a 3080 Ti. The 4070 Ti Super is 2.5 times faster than a 3070 Ti, and the 4070 Super is faster than a 3090. That sounds very cool, NVIDIA. You know what sounds cooler though? Numbers.
I've heard several mathematicians like them.
AMD also unveiled their new 8000G APU lineup during their CES keynote after they, like NVIDIA, got all the AI out of their system. The company claims to have included some pretty potent graphics in the chips. The 8700G, top chip in the lineup, can allegedly reach 60 FPS playing Cyberpunk at 1080p, and can also reach playable frame rates in many other games. At least, that's according to the company's gorgeous but information poor diagrams.
They're like the himbos of graphs.
AMD seems to be firmly targeting budget-inclined gamers, or anyone who wants to play something while they're saving up for a discrete GPU. But AMD wouldn't know much about discretion based on how much time they dedicated to publicly tearing Intel's Meteor Lake apart. When they were done throwing Intel around, they threw everyone for a loop by announcing new Ryzen 5000 series processors, including the Ryzen 7 5700X3D. These sound like 3 generational chips, thanks to Team Red's dumb new numbering scheme. Your numbers sound very cool, AMD. You know what sounds cooler though? Meaningful numbers.
It's called
We're doing a thing. Now it's time for the Quick Bits, brought to you by Seasonic. They're back as our partner for CES this year, and what a wonderful partner they are. In fact, we might kiss them. What's an electrical hazard? It's no secret we've stood by Seasonic's power supplies for a long time, and that's for a good reason. Their power supplies, such as the ones in their Focus series, for example, are fully modular, quiet, and are all backed by exceptional warranties. If you want your current computer, or your next build, to slurp up some reliable juice, check out Seasonic at the link below. Every year, thousands of Quick Bits are abandoned on our doorstep. For just the price of a cup of coffee, you can make a difference. Please, give generously. Here's 5. Apple's Vision Pro is available for pre-order on January 19th, starting at 5 a.m. to be picked up or delivered on February 2nd. It's all the excitement of a midnight release, except you still have to wait another 2 weeks to actually get your hands on the thing.
Oh, I can't wait.
And thus spoke Tim Cook. The era of spatial computing has arrived. The optional vision-correcting lens inserts range between $99 for reading lenses and $149 for prescription lenses, both only available online. The latter requires a valid prescription, and according to a tiny footnote, not all prescriptions are supported. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but apparently the technology of the future is simply incompatible with certain kinds of eyeballs. Probably yours.
Pay $3,500 to not see.
LG showed off a transparent OLED TV this morning, a device that's kind of cool but also kind of useless. which is what CES is really about. Unlike previous prototypes, the company has shown the LG signature OLED, T for transparent, also pronounced OLED in French, is pretty much a final product that is planned to launch this year. It has a space behind its 77-inch display where you can place objects in order to prompt reactions like, huh, that's cool, I guess. Or you can raise the contrast filter to eliminate transparency, making it seem like you had bought a normal TV like a poor person. Who would use that? Apple has begun paying out a $500 million settlement to a class action lawsuit claiming that the company intentionally throttled the performance of older iPhone models. You remember in 2017 when Apple admitted to slowing the batteries on older phone models, which they stated was intended to improve the device's longevity, right? Apple agreed to the settlement back in 2020, but the company maintains there was no wrongdoing on their part. The payment to each member of the suit will be worth around $92. So good news if you had an iPhone with terrible battery life 8 years ago, I guess. I mean, with inflation.
Put that in the bank and then save up. Firebomb an iPhone.
Or a replacement left AirPod. BMW unveiled new updates to their cars, including multiple video gaming features. Gee, yes! While you can already play games in the company's cars, BMW is making the experience better by adding the ability to connect Bluetooth controllers so you can play split-screen games in your expensive German car with your friends and Hall effect joysticks. Finally, BMW drivers will more easily be able to unwind after many stressful hours of not using turn signals. And tech company and Bear Grylls' fortune-telling cousin, Sear Grills, unveiled an AI-powered grill at CES. The device costs $3,500, but if you act now, you can get $1,000 off if you pre-order this unproven machine before January 15th. What a steal! Sounding a lot like the Vision Pro. Sear Grills claims the grill can cook a 1-inch ribeye steak in fewer than 2 minutes. Their secret? AI. The second secret? Trapping the meat in a vertical cage and blasting both sides simultaneously with temperatures over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It also makes pizza.
Yum yum.
And you'll be a real pizza work if you don't come back on Wednesday for more tech news. I'm kidding. You know I can't stop loving you.
Is that Chris Pratt?
You want salad?
And bread.
So what you gonna do? You're gonna take your favorite salad and you stuff it, yeah!
Stuff it!
Yeah!
Stop it!
Say stuff it and make any salad stuffer. New salad stuffer at Panera.
Chevy drivers need
Hi,
a truck
Josie.
that shows up the same way they do.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Unless it's the annual Consumer Electronics Show, because we're gonna tell you every scandalous detail. Sorry, Vegas. We covered the show's earliest news on Monday, but the news just kept on coming, led by Samsung, who introduced the world's first transparent micro LED display, which reportedly looks like a futuristic hologram compared to
So now, since it's still lagging, and I think it's still based on the system storage, how much storage I have, how much gigabytes of stuff I have on here. So yeah, the other thing is I don't know which one to sacrifice. So I think I should. Well, I don't know which game or application or anything to sacrifice. Do you know anything to sacrifice on my PS4, Dorothy? Probably not. Because some games are, like good for like stable games, and then some games aren't. I could sacrifice Police Simulator, since I already have the Platinum in that one. But it only gives me a few gigabytes, only like 9 gigabytes, almost 10. But I don't have all the trophies in Car Mechanic Simulator. So I did sacrifice that one. Now it's time to test Roblox again. See if it takes me a long time to load now. since I have, you know, 9, almost 10 more gigabytes. Hi, Dorothy. I wonder if you can. Could I make my own, like, silver? So just create private server for the best experience, like the best quality, but I don't know well to do that. What the? Yeah, it's still taking a little bit of time to load. Yeah, definitely is. Hi, Dorothy. Oh, level 5 SS California. Now that got me interested, I'm going to go to that. So, I'll jump cut to when I get that, I guess. You know, on one of these ships, they don't have the SOS button in the actual like, cockpit thing, so that's kind of confusing. Plus, also, this tablet I have is a 10 out of 10 tablet. You should get it. It's an iPad A16. I think like 6th generation or something. Oh, I'm back, and I think this gel's breaking. Well, guess what? It is. Okay, Dolphy's just turned away. So, now what? Actually, I'm not going to install. Police simulator. So, basically, over the next, few days, I really want to finish Red Dead Redemption 1, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on Veteran Mode. And, you guys, I'll give you a report. Actually, I'll probably make a video after I finish all 3 of those games. I'll make an update video where I delete the games, so I'll load it to a box, see if it still lags, and then I'll delete the games and then go back into Roblox and see if it lags. Because guess what? All these games combined, if we go into hell, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 68.62 gigabytes, which is number 4. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, which is 31.57 gigabytes, which is number 9. And then number 11 is Red Dead Redemption 1, which is 10.80 gigabytes. So yeah. Plus also, if that doesn't work, I'm planning on having a movie night. Like this upcoming, like Friday. So after I watch the movies that I have on Prime Video, I could delete that. Which I'll probably not, because it's only 1.12 gigabytes. So not a lot. But I'm going to hop back into, some mostly tech crap for my YouTube channel. Since this video is supposed to be about tech. So yeah.
This is Arby's pulled pork and chopped brisket. This is the juicy result of slow smoking meat for up to 13 hours. And this is you forgetting time exists and getting lost in the sauce. Arby's, we have the meat.
New Game Plus has no business making Grace's dish towel smell this good. Especially after that. Our greatest scent ever. New Game Plus with Oxy.
It's day 1 of our CES 2025 coverage. We'll be giving you 5 episodes this week instead of 3, so prepare yourself for a deluge of tech news that won't let up until we're all lying face down in a pool of hypey buzzwords. At least we'll go out knowing all about smart toilets. NVIDIA finally unveiled their RTX 50 series graphics cards at their keynote today as a treat for the audience members who first had to sit through a supposedly inspiring montage about how AI tokens are enabling a borderline dystopia, and then Jensen Huang burst onto stage wearing alligator skin and roared at the audience,
Do you like my jacket?
"Worship me?" After reminding us that GPUs just didn't pop out of the ground fully formed, Jensen finally got to the good stuff, and it looks good. NVIDIA's claiming the RTX 5070 is on par with the RTX 4090 and will launch at $550. Huh? Then we got the RTX 5070 Ti at $750, RTX 5080 at $1,000, and RTX 5090 at $2,000. That is quite the spread, and I'm inclined to think the Intel Arc B580 had to have something to do with the 5070 being priced that aggressively. And if NVIDIA's numbers are anywhere close to accurate, this is not an iterative upgrade. With the help of the newly announced DLSS 4, NVIDIA is claiming that all of these 50 series cards are twice as fast as their predecessors in some pretty demanding games. All that while using a 2-slot design with double flow-through fans on the 5090, where the 4090 was a 3-slot, and many third-party designs used 3.5 slots. This less beefy design might have something to do with all of the AI gobbledygook Jensen was going on about. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying attention, but But DLSS 4 and the new NVIDIA Reflex 2 are leaning even more heavily into generating frames on the fly with AI instead of rasterizing. And there's actually a bunch more interesting stuff that NVIDIA talked about, and not just the AI. You can interrupt your game to ask about how many pixels are on your character's butt or something. But Mark and I would prefer to go home at some point, so I'll talk about that tomorrow. AMD also had gifts for the tech world, ridiculous new naming schemes for their products, and an aneurysm for Linus. Yeah, as detailed in the LTT video, AMD confirmed that in the next few months, GPUs would launch based on the new RDNA 4 architecture, which is optimized and better. This is literally just a list of synonyms. They gave no details on the new graphics cards other than confirming that, yes, they will be called the RX 9070 and 9070 XT, and yes, they explicitly did that to match direct competitor compare, which is robot speak for
What's
we
the
come
next one
to
back
NVIDIA
to
because
this
we don't know
one?
who we are without
This
them.
is part 1 to
I know.
well, to the series so far.
I don't know who those people on stage were, but if Dr. Lisa Su were here, she wouldn't
What
allow
else?
this.
The voice
Take
typing
it
or
back.
whatever.
AMD had the bravery to announce that their new FSR upscaling tech would be exclusive to RX 9000 GPUs, and they also announced new versions of the world's best gaming processors, the Ryzen 9900 X3D and 9950 X3D, which beat Intel's latest flagship even worse than the 9800 X3D. That X3D stuff is good. So for the first time, AMD's putting it in a laptop processor, the Fire Range Ryzen 9 9955HX3D. Please, can we simplify this branding? If Dr. Lisa Su was here, she'd say,
No. Booking.com has all kinds of stays because some love a rustic cabin. Others feel differently. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Step into Refresherland with Dunkin' Refreshers. Swing into flavors like berry acai, fruity and refreshing. Watch your step or you'll fall into black cherry, golden tart. That's one way to cool off. Dunkin' Refreshers, a world of delicious flavors to choose from.
This is a place where one voice can spark a change, but something happens.
because joining last year's Ryzen AI 300 series laptop chips is another tier of CPUs above Ryzen 9. That's right, it's the Ryzen AI Max and AI Max Plus 300 series, followed by more Ryzen AI 9, 7, and 5 300 series chips. And then just to make things more confusing, because at this point, why not? Later this year, after the 300 series launches, we're going to get the Ryzen 200 series mobile chips. There's also the new Ryzen Z2 Extreme, Z2 Normal, and Z2 Go. One of the Steam Deck team members had to correct people who thought a Z2 chip would power the next-gen Steam Deck. A wacky idea they had no reason to believe, except for this AMD slide featuring two Ryzen Z100 handhelds and the Steam Deck. AMD, listen, it's okay to ask for help with marketing. There are people who do this professionally. Heck, just email me. I'll help you. Just stop. Intel CES keynote was opened up by interim co-CEO Michelle Johnston Holthouse, which is too many syllables for me to say all the time. Where's Pat? I need to know he's alive. After digging through a maze of AI, client edge, scalability type jargon, I figured out that Intel was announcing more Core Ultra 200 series laptop chips. The 200U series for thin and light, 200H for some more beef, and 200HX for extra beef. The Mayo. These all use the same Arrow Lake architecture as the desktop Core Ultra 200S series, not the Lunar Lake architecture in the 200V series, which had on-package memory. That kind of design has been killed off, but not Team Blue's ARC graphics cards. We are very committed to the discrete graphics graphics market, says Michelle Johnston Holdhouse. It takes too long. Please have a shorter name. I don't know, maybe something like our sponsor, Saily, the global eSIM service that keeps you connected while traveling, even if you're going to pass through multiple countries. What are you, trying out for the Harlem Globetrotters? Well, if so, you're going to want to make use of Saily's affordable prices for regional and global plans and download just one eSIM for your whole trip. This way, you'll avoid standing in line to buy a local SIM card at the airport, which is good because the crowd is going to want pictures with you. Saily eSIM plans are compatible with most iOS and Android devices, and if yours isn't compatible, you'll get a full refund with chat support available 24/7. Get an exclusive 50% discount on Saily eSIM data plans. Just download the Saily app and use code TechLink at checkout. Hey, believe it or not, there's even more tech news. Enough for quick bits. Enough to drive you mad! Dell is chucking out its laptop and desktop brands, swapping XPS, Inspiron, Latitude, and Precision for the much simpler and Apple-flavored Dell, Dell Pro, and Dell Pro Max. I can see the appeal. Dell executives were probably hoping teens with frosted tips would once again exclaim, "You're dipping, Dell," as they did in 2001. But that was before Adele's debut album in 2008. Whoa, uh-oh. Also, each form of Dell will be further divided into plus and premium variants, which kind of messes up the whole simplicity angle, but hey, at least some of them will come with swappable USB-C ports. Fidget with those. Qualcomm announced a new entry in its Snapdragon X series of laptop CPUs, and just like the last time they did this with the X Plus, the new chip, called simply Snapdragon X, is slotting in at the bottom of the list. I mean, the flagship X Elite went from extremely overhyped to extremely medium hyped, so you might as well go with that flow. For that reason, I'm a little skeptical of Qualcomm's benchmarks when they say the X is up to 1.6 times faster than an Intel Core 5 120U, which I don't even know what that is, so happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened. The HDMI Forum has announced HDMI 2.2, which will double the bandwidth of HDMI 2.1 to support 96 gigabits per second. So you can play games on the PlayStation 6 at 8K and 240 hertz. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. 10K at 120 hertz. But watch out, because VESA is answering with an updated DisplayPort 2.1 spec that allows for 80 gigabits per second transmission over cables 3 times the length they previously allowed, which was 1 meter. So make sure your video data has enough snacks for the road trip it's about to go on. I'll see you on the other side of this small room. The greatest trick Microsoft ever pulled was apparently convincing users they're using Google when they're using Bing instead. As spotted by Windows latest, when users search for Google through Bing, they're now served with a very Google Doodle looking graphic above a search bar on a page that has been scrolled down slightly to hide the Bing logo at the top. What's the end game here? Gaslight people until they discover they've been using Bing the whole time, and maybe they'll be like, I guess Bing's not so bad after all. It's literally search engine Stockholm syndrome. And new leaks have led Nintendo fans to become possessed of the idea that you might be able to use the Switch 2's Joy-Con as a mouse. First off, new images of the Joy-Con leaked on Baidu, which is a serial number that is valid on Nintendo's check warranty page, so those look legit, and they appear to have a laser sensor on the connector side. Combine that with shipping data mentioning adhesive tape to be used as a mouse sole, which got people thinking about how you can do something similar with the Lenovo Legion Go controllers. But instead of the controller sitting upright, you put the rail side down and use the trigger as a left click. I hope this is true, if only to strike fear into Xbox and PS5 owners in games that support crossplay once Switch players join the lobby. Oh no, the children are here. And why don't you join me again tomorrow for more tech news, because I have to do something with all the extras. It's piling up in here. It's getting hard to breathe.
Hi, Tootsie.
It's day 2 of our CES 2025 coverage, and the tech news continues to pour in. It feels neither pity nor shame, only a cold compulsion to make AI like its whole thing. Lenovo showed off the world's first laptop with a camera under the display, the Yoga Slim 9i, along with the world's first rollable laptop display in the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6, and some of the world's first Snapdragon X-powered mini PCs running Windows on ARM. But the biggest world's first to me, which is what really matters, get your own show, is the world's first SteamOS handheld not made by Valve. All of those leaks were surprisingly accurate, but they couldn't have predicted its full name would be the Lenovo Legion Go S 8-inch 1 powered by SteamOS, because it would be hard to predict someone choosing that. It'll launch in May, starting at $500 for the version with a last-gen Ryzen Z1 Extreme, but there will actually be a Windows version too, which will launch in January with the newly announced Ryzen Z2 Go for $730. But it'll come with 3 months of PC Game Pass, in what I can only imagine is a desperate bribe from Microsoft. No, all of the gamers, please don't switch to SteamOS. It can't give you full screen ads like I can. Yeah, we don't want those. Huh? Both SteamOS and Windows versions of the Legion Go S will have a $600 tier as well, with a Ryzen Z2 Go later this year. But if you want the beefiest option, Lenovo did say a proper second-gen Lenovo Legion Go non-S is in the works. But that won't run SteamOS. Not so fast. Valve took this opportunity to announce that a SteamOS beta will be released this month that anyone can install on other handhelds. Handhelds like the GPD Win 4, maybe, whose website made it sound like another official SteamOS handheld, until Valve told The Verge they did not work with GPD on official SteamOS boards. I feel like that was given away by the stretched out picture of Cat Mario on the website, but I've been wrong before. Maybe you can install SteamOS on Acer's Nitro Blaze, an 11-inch handheld that's so massive, I think the guy in this marketing image is just chuckling at it. Is this a joke? We'll get back to CES news, but first, Meta has announced it's shifting away from using third-party fact-checking services in favor of a community note-style model on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. In a video and blog post, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta's new PR chief, Joel Kaplan, said their focus is now on restoring free expression for no particular current events-related reason, so they're also lifting restrictions on discussion of some sensitive topics that would have previously led to moderation. Interestingly, multiple times, Meta's blog post specifically references rival social media site X, run by Elon Musk, the guy who was never actually going to fight Zuck in the ring, but pretending was fun for a while. I guess Meta's new lax moderation policy also applies to Meta themselves, because they took the liberty of serving an Instagram user with unsettling AI-generated images of himself in his feed after he used a Meta AI tool to edit a selfie. Meta apparently took that to mean he wants to be surprised by a fake image of himself reflecting on life in an endless maze of mirrors where he's the main focus. And he looks thrilled. Now, back in September, Meta said they're testing serving content in Facebook and Instagram feeds created by their AI just for you, not of you, which is the issue here. Meta told 404 Media that you can opt out of seeing otherworldly versions of yourself in your feed, but other platforms are experimenting with similar features, so you may just have to get used to AIs poking you like a toddler and saying, "Hey, look, I drew a picture of you." I don't care. Where are your parents? And look, it's our sponsor, Saley, the global eSIM service that keeps you connected while traveling through one country. 2 countries?
Making every dollar count is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. Drive safe? Congrats, you saved. Drive less? More savings. Multiple vehicles? Savings. If it's important to you, it's important to us. We're in good hands with Allstate.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long.
people might give you one pizza for $9.99. Little Caesars gives you more because more is better. It's Little Caesars more for $9.99 menu. Get two buffets for only $9.99. The more for $9.99 menu for a limited time.
Pizza, pizza.
Oh, it wouldn't.
A million countries? That's too many. However many countries you want to visit, download just one eSIM for your whole trip with Saley. They've got affordable prices for regional and global plans. So while you'll be disappointing the scammers waiting outside airports to sell you sketchy local SIM cards, you'll... Wait, that's a positive. Anyway, Saley eSIM plans are compatible with most iOS and Android devices, and if yours isn't compatible, you'll get a full refund with chat support available 24/7. Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saley eSIM data plans. Just download the Saley app and use code TechLead at checkout. Okay, we're coming back to CES news for the quick bits. These ones are a little different, but hey, that's okay. Yesterday, I told you I'd cover some more NVIDIA stuff, so here. GeForce Now is officially getting a native app for the Steam Deck later this year, and expanded browser-based support on various mixed reality headsets too. So I guess Microsoft is right, and all of those are an Xbox.
What? Oh.
What? What? One thing from the keynote I didn't cover yesterday was Project Digits, a tiny $3,000 desktop computer powered by the company's Blackwell GPU and their 20-core Grace CPU on a pretty standard-looking mobile chip. This is a ARM-based APU in a Mac Mini-looking form factor. Could NVIDIA just leapfrog Qualcomm and start their own ARM PC revolution? Probably not with this. These are meant for researchers and people comfortable plopping another $3,000 PC on top of the first one to run their AI waifu locally. Long distance is hard. Speaking of AI companions, NVIDIA announced that generative AI-powered NPCs called co-playable characters will drop soon in PUBG and Naraka Bladepoint, where they'll help you find loot and swear to loyally hold off bad guys so you can run away and heal. If AIs can't love, then what is that? Oh, you're not a gamer? Don't worry, NVIDIA's Project R2X desktop assistant is here to answer the question, what if Clippy was hot? I found a hot AI girl and trapped her in my monitor. Now, because I feel like I'm neglecting them if I don't mention them, there are a butt-ton of new laptop models on display at CES, as usual. Updated gaming and lifestyle models from ASUS, refreshed EliteBooks, and a new Snapdragon X-powered Omni Studio, all in one from HP. MSI had some pretty wild 18-inch gaming laptops to show off with lots of Dragon-related influences, is what the people want. And Acer had a number of notebooks to show off, but not all of them had a chassis made partially out of crushed oyster shells, like the Aspire Vero 16. So that's the one that gets the mention. I don't make the rules. And you know what? Let's cover Sony's CES announcements, which once again involved reminding everyone they're working on a car with Honda. It's called the Afeela. Do we remember this? Yes. But since it's 2025, it has to ship with an AI personal agent, of course. What is new is the shipping estimate of 2026 and the price. It starts at $89,900. But that comes with a 3-year subscription to all the AI stuff, which is at least a Toyota Corolla's worth. Sony also gave their mysterious next-gen XR headset a name, Zyn, with an X. I guess the nicotine pouches aren't big in Japan. But good news, you won't need the headset to enjoy Sony's future immersive entertainment concept. A box covered in displays and sensory doohickeys that will drop you into the world of The Last of Us, and even let you smell what Ellie smells. Turns out the clickers are just ripping it. It's all the time. It's mold and gas. It's not good. And we're gonna let it rip again tomorrow. So come on back for more. No, it'll be tech news. That's not. We're not rip. Okay, that's disrespectful.
A new era of American shipbuilding is here.
Dear Journal, I've been covering CES 2025 for 3 days now. The Red Bull has run out. Drums sound in the distance, probably beaten by a smart toilet with robot arms or something.
It won't be long now.
AMD's lips are still sealed when it comes to their next-gen GPUs, but IGN managed to secretly run the internal benchmark in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the RX 9070 non-XT in AMD's CES booth, getting an average FPS of 99. From this, IGN estimates the card might perform somewhere close to NVIDIA's RTX 4080 Super using some kind of PC nerd derivative of girl math. I couldn't follow. But the point is, AMD's apparent decision to, at the last minute, withhold all information about their next-gen GPUs except their names has only made everyone more curious about them. A lesson they already would have learned had they ever brought a bag of nuts into the squirrel pen. You guys don't have those? Even AMD's GPU board partners seem confused about what's going on. PowerColor allows Leo and the Kit Guru team to look at their RX 9070s while pretending that they weren't.
Come in, Matt. Come close and look at the invisible, non-existent graphics cards.
Meanwhile, Tom's Hardware seems to have inadvertently published a photo of the Navi 48 chip powering the GPUs, leading leaky Twitter guy David Wong to estimate the die size at around 390 millimeters squared, which is slightly larger than the AD103 chip powering NVIDIA's RTX 4080. We have gotten one concrete piece of information, though. ASUS revealed both RX 9070 variants have 16
When did
gigabytes of
TikTok
VRAM,
release?
which they apparently weren't supposed to reveal as they took down the page shortly after. AMD's kind of acting like that friend who will plan a surprise party for you but hide it horribly, so you have to act surprised when it happens. Which has happened to me so many times. Such a relatable story. The Nintendo Switch 2 leaks may have officially jumped the shark. Accessory maker Genki has published a video on their website of what might as well be the Switch 2, ostensibly to show off the company's protected case for the console, but they know what they're doing. They told press the mock-up they're showing here is based on the real console, and their website has a pop-up admitting they can't keep a secret.
Oopsie.
The video shows in detail the magnetic Joy-Cons releasing at the push of a button, revealing the rumored laser sensor on the rail that may enable mouse functionality. I mean, we'll see. And the video also provides our best look yet at the Switch 2's dock design. Not only that, they were handing around a 3D printed mock-up of the console at their CES booth, first shown in a video by French tech outlet Numerama. It's starting to feel a little ridiculous that Nintendo hasn't unveiled the Switch 2. As if to emphasize this, the Nintendo Japan Twitter account just changed their account banner to Mario and Luigi, seeming to gesture at empty space. Just watch Nintendo wait until March 31st, and then wait one more day to reveal the greatest April Fool's prank ever. There is no Switch 2. Reddit wakes up in a cold sweat. Meta isn't just trying to appease the incoming Trump administration, they're also humoring the EU and launching a test allowing users to browse eBay listings on Facebook Marketplace in the US, France, and Germany. The European Commission fined Meta over $820 million last year over Facebook Marketplace being tied to Facebook. Yeah, the EU loves to fine people. They even fined themselves. Sort of. The EU General Court ruled this morning that the European Commission broke its own rules and allowed a German citizen's personal data to be sent to Meta's servers in the US when they signed in with their Facebook account on an EU webpage. The EU is now forcing itself to pay that citizen 400 euros in damages.
In life, we're all searching for a thing. And when you finally find that thing,
I'm the thing.
you want the whole world to know the thing. So you use Canva to make a thing. Then it becomes a
Gabrielle turned her passion into a thriving business with toasting her. Now it's your turn to take your idea.
It's not really a fine in the strict sense of the word, but it makes more sense than going, pay up. Serves me right. It's only right that you check out our sponsor, Saily, the global eSIM service that helps you save big on travel data plans. Because if you never booked a trip before, you may not know this, but going to different places isn't free. I know, that's silly. I'm with you on this. Thankfully, Saily takes a bit of the edge off with affordable eSIM plans that cover 160 countries. And if you're traveling through a bunch of those, you can download just one eSIM for your whole trip. Because I don't think spending hours every day wandering around looking for free Wi-Fi should be on the itinerary. Saily eSIM plans are compatible with most iOS and Android devices, and if yours isn't compatible, you'll get a full refund with chat support available 24/7. Get an exclusive 50% discount on Saily eSIM data plans. Just download the Saily app and use code TechLink at checkout. Dear Journal, the smart toilets found me and said they'd let me live if I gave them quick bits. I said never, and now I'm dead. Lesson learned. Alright, time for good old-fashioned wacky CES stuff. Swipit has unveiled a machine that can essentially reload your phone's battery with a fully charged one in about 2 seconds. Although it's not your phone's internal battery, Swipit's Link case, compatible with iPhone and Android, has a battery inside, which is swapped out for a fresh one when you dip it into the Hub, a toaster-looking device that stores and charges extra batteries. It all looks pretty sleek in Swipit's marketing materials, but as demonstrated by Alison Johnson from The Verge, it actually sounds like a 20-year-old printer. But that's a small price to pay to avoid buying Anker's new solar panel beach umbrella, which is billed as an alternative to lugging a battery back up to the beach. I mean, maybe you're supposed to be touching grass, but there's no grass on the beach anyway. This makes sense. LG had some fun things to show off, other than that years-old transparent OLED TV that's actually available to buy now for $60,000. How about the Stand My B2, a portable, hangable 27-inch TV? It's even got a kickstand, making it really seem like a giant tablet missing a touchscreen. It's still a little confusing, but it makes more sense than the model from last year that goes in a suitcase. Huh? TV in a suitcase? I got one. But the best thing I think LG showed off was the AeroCat Tower, a version of one of the company's Aero Tower air purifiers with a cradle on top, so a cat can sit on it. Now that's innovation. Where are all the other companies putting cats on things? Eufy showed off their 3-in-1 E20 robot vacuum, so named because you can remove the actual vacuum part and use it as a Dyson-style handheld with multiple attachments, which will also get you more powerful suction. It's one of those rare CES products that's simultaneously practical and also kind of wacky. But wait till you see Roborock's vacuum with a robot arm in it. But not right now! That's for the weirdest Tech at CES episode on Friday. I'm saving it. A company called Halliday showed off their smart glasses, which eschews more popular waveguide built-in displays for their own DigiWindow design. It can be controlled either by voice or a control ring on your finger, which can, of course, summon an AI agent. I'm sure there's more cool things about these glasses, but I was so distracted by the voiceovers in the trailer.
I think it's retro revival. People want that nostalgic feel, but with a modern twist.
That's the one. Love it. Let's explore some design concepts.
And Chinese car company BYD has shown off their Yangwang U9 electric sports car. Apparently it means like admire or something. So I was like, okay, you know. Anyway, they showed off the car bunny hopping over obstacles at 120 kilometers per hour, including a sizable pothole, a bunch of spikes, and worst of all, a chalk rainbow. Wouldn't want to disappoint the kids who drew that. Oh, it ruined it anyway. Well, it was technically graffiti. Those kids are probably going straight to a CCP jail anyway. But not you! You're coming right back here tomorrow for more tech news. Because I'll be damned if I have to endure this pain alone. Oh wait, I'm dead. I forgot.
At least SafeLight can come to you for free.
They can come to me for free?
That's right. SafeLight can come to you for free, so you can get your windshield fixed anywhere you want at no additional cost. For free mobile service, go to safelight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
It's day 4 of our CES 2025 coverage, and I barely talked about wacky robots at all. Well, turns out there were lots of robots at CES this year, which makes sense. Robotics is kind of in the middle of its ChatGPT moment, or at least NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang wants that very badly, having debuted new AI-powered tools to develop and train autonomous robots. I mean, if we have advanced AI that hallucinates, and we don't stick it in a super-powered metal body, what are we doing? Case in point, the Go-To dog robot from Chinese company Unitree, who describes it as a new creature of embodied AI, and seemingly can't publish a single video where it doesn't do a handstand. It just learned, and it's very exciting. Unitree says the Go-To can use generative AI to interpret commands, so it figures out how to shake hands when you ask. But ask for a glass of water, and give me some water.
Sorry, I can't reach it. I beg the pleasure to be fed.
What kind of robot did I buy? I don't know, you don't have to do that. The Go-To seems fairly physically capable, but it's actually a much more consumer-friendly, safer version of Unitree's terrifying wheeled B2W robot, which has been demoed doing a barrel roll in midair and other insane parkour tricks, careening down mountainsides, through water, and over rough terrain, looking like some kind of manic assassin on rollerblades. While the smaller Go-To gingerly took the stairs, this thing lands a 2-meter jump into a handstand, and then lets Buddy ride it like it's the fucking X Games. Look, we're in control of these things, okay? It's not like we're dealing with a brand new intelligent species. Unitree? What are you doing? Turns out you can also slap some wheels on the Go-To, and while Boston Dynamics' Spot robot goes for nearly $75,000, Unitree is selling the Go-To for just $1,600. For $16,000, you can get the company's G1 humanoid robot, who also loves to jump, and take a bow staff off of its back, swing it around like a weapon, and Unitree is training a virtual army in staff combat? Why didn't they show them making coffee or something? Why would you... Why do you think humanity needs robots? Melee combat? Well, thankfully, there were a few robots at CES that might not make you coffee, but could bring it to you? The Mimo from Japanese company Jisai is like a bedside table with spider legs, designed to carry items around a house or perhaps a medical facility, and it maybe would have given me nightmares if I wasn't still thinking about the Unitree talks. A big trend at CES is also equipping robot vacuums with appendages. The $2,000 Roborock Saros Z70 conceals a clawed arm in its body that can unfold to pick up obstacles in its path, weighing under 300 grams. So, socks, slippers, severed fingers. But, the Dream X50 Ultra also has a robot arm attachment. Plus, it's got extendable legs, so it can climb over small ledges. Gotcha there. You know what, never mind humanoid robots, let's just keep adding limbs to the vacuums and see where that gets us. SwitchBot is thinking along those lines with their K20 Plus modular robot system. The base model wheeled robot can be combined with a vacuum module, multiple robot arms, cameras, screen holders, and air purifiers with a tabletop. So SwitchBot says you can relax in bed while this thing brings you fresh coffee and breakfast that you would have had to have made before racing your robot back to your bed. Luxury! Hey, you want to talk convenience? Check out our sponsor, Saley, the eSIM service with regional and global plans. I told them I got roaming fees when I was traveling one time, and they would not stop laughing. With me. I was in on it. Because it doesn't make sense when Saley is right there with affordable eSIMs you can download once to keep you connected while traveling through multiple countries. When Saley heard about how I waited in line at the airport for a local SIM, they laughed even harder. It was pretty funny. Saley eSIM plans are compatible with most iOS and Android devices, and if yours isn't compatible, you'll get a full refund with chat support available 24/7. Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saley eSIM data plans. Just download the Saley app and use code TechLink at checkout. It's Quick Bits time!
It's Quick Bits time? I'll fetch the milkman. Hey, what about Razer? Yeah, they usually have some wacky, out there concept to show up at CES. But the wildest thing they had this year was the Project Ariel gaming chair with an integrated fan system that blows cool or warm air at your backside. I mean, that's unusual, but the weirdest thing about it is how surprisingly practical it might be. I mean, what else you got, Razer? The Project Ava AI Gamer Co-Pilot? I mean, it does make some pretty big claims about how capable it is. Kind of creepy, but not weird enough. This is kind of cool. The Hisong Air Studio One, a professional-looking handheld microphone with built-in wireless earbuds you can slide out and use as in-ear monitors. It's such an interesting idea to me that I almost overlooked their weird AI-generated promo video.
Long ago, humans discovered the natural phenomenon of echoes in caves and canyons, giving rise to the earliest attempts at capturing sound.
Almost. Another one that caught my attention is the ShiftCam Plank, tiny 1 or 2 terabyte SSDs that can plug into iPhones, so you can fill those up with ProRes 4K 120 FPS footage instead of your onboard storage. It may be a surprisingly practical option for amateur filmmakers, given how great iPhone cameras are and how insistent Apple is that you need to buy iCloud storage. What, you want to do anything? ShiftCam told 9to5Mac they're launching a Kickstarter next month. Speaking of keeping things local, Google has made keeping control of your smart home devices as local as possible much easier by integrating the Google Home runtime into over 40 million devices. This will let homeowners control Matter-compatible smart home tech without pinging Google services every time. But Google normally wants to suck up all the data it can, so they're either not telling us something or they're going to cancel this feature in 6 months. And Microsoft has declared 2025 the year of the Windows 11 PC refresh. They're getting serious about telling people to upgrade, but they may also be getting a bit sloppy. James Conto on Twitter reportedly got one of those now infamous full-screen ads for Windows 11 on their Windows 10 PC, only for it to crash immediately after popping up. And I don't want to speak for Microsoft here, but the guy drunk in public warning about the end of the world is probably not the vibe Microsoft is going for. The vibe I'm going for tomorrow is weird. That's right, we'll be talking about all the weirdest stuff we saw at CES this year. So, hey, be there, you're weird. In a good way. I didn't mean it like that. I'm probably the weirdest. Where are you going?
There are trucks, and then there's the 2026 GMC Sierra. It's the truck.
It's the final day of CES 2025. We saw new GPUs, laptops, and TVs, but today we're recognizing companies that understood the assignment. The true meaning of CES is showing off tech that's slightly disturbing. Tech
Welcome to day one of our CES 2026 coverage. You can look forward to getting CES tech news 5 days in a row, so the regular 3 with special guests in the midweek, because in 2026 what happens in Vegas ends up on the internet. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang took to the stage at CES in his trademark leather jacket and basically said, the future's robots and we're building all of it. NVIDIA is building the robots and also the chips those robots run on, and also the software, and also the simulation tools. It's NVIDIA's all the way down. The headline is the Rubin platform, their next-gen AI supercomputer with 6 integrated chips, including the Vera CPU with 88 custom cores and a Rubin GPU packing 336 billion transistors, which is more. NVIDIA claims 5 times the performance of Blackwell and a 10x reduction in inference costs. They also unveiled Alpamayo, which I thought was an expensive mayonnaise brand, but it's apparently the first reasoning AI for autonomous vehicles. Jensen showed a car navigating San Francisco, supposedly thinking through decisions in real time, which is more than I can say I do. NVIDIA announced that they're open sourcing it, which either means they're very confident or they want everyone else to use the bug test. Talk about lowering inference costs. But the real real showstopper was when Star Wars BDX droids walked on stage the exact same way they did last year. But this time, they were fully autonomous, trained on NVIDIA's Cosmos AI model. Partners like Boston Dynamics, LG, and Caterpillar showed off robots running NVIDIA Silicon, which sounds impressive until you realize NVIDIA's entire business model is now, we sell the shovels in every gold rush simultaneously. Autonomous cars, NVIDIA chips. Humanoid robots, NVIDIA chips. AI data centers, NVIDIA chips. I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong with a single company building the infrastructure that's propping up the entirety of the U.S. economy. Love it or hate it, though, at this point, one thing's for sure. Jensen is building the cyberpunk dystopia that matches his cool leather jacket. I guess that's mathematics. One big desert. There's a phone with a robot arm now. Honor unveiled the robot phone, a device with an actual 3-axis gimbal camera that pops out of the back like something out of a Transformers movie. The camera can rotate 360 degrees, track your face autonomously, and basically turn your phone into a DJI Osmo that also calls your mother. Or doesn't call her. Honor's calling it part of their $10 billion alpha plan for AI devices, which sounds like something a Transformers villain would announce before Shia LaBeouf shoved the Allspark into his shiny metal ass. No pricing yet, and it launches at Mobile World Congress in March, which isn't CES, and we care about CES. But if you've ever thought your phone needs more moving parts, then this is your moment. And if you want the exact opposite, Clicks unveiled the Communicator, a full BlackBerry-style phone with a 4-inch AMOLED display, minimalist UI.
I am going to go to the bathroom, so yeah.
Physical QWERTY keyboard, headphone jack by USB slot, and a fingerprint sensor in the spacebar. It's $4.99, runs Android 16, and is marketed as the best second phone on the planet. Because apparently one phone isn't enough anxiety. Here's some more. Painting Toe showed off what they're calling the world's thinnest tablet. So thin it makes the iPad Pro look like Kirby after inhaling an entire Panda Express. TCL brought back Max Ink mode on their Next Page Paper 70 Pro to allow you to experience what it would be like if the Page Master designed a smartphone. And Solver announced customizable magnetic haptic buttons for phones, allowing you to bind whatever action or string of actions you want, like quickly launching your I'm pooping at work timer and make a new entry in your how much money do I make while pooping at work spreadsheet. I'm up to $85 in 2026 already, baby!
Shamelessly seasoned in every groove and twist. Dots, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Trying to predict the future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be absolutely fantastic.
Travis, you put the team at risk. So,
Allow me to assist. Really?
Samsung brought some of the literally biggest news at CES, showing off their massive 130-inch R9 5H micro RGB TV. Unfortunately, they didn't provide pricing or availability deals for this wide boy, so who knows when we'll get to see Linus try to plug it into his house. But not only did Samsung unveil a big-ass TV, they also revealed a bright-ass TV with their 77-inch QD-OLED panel capable of reaching for 4,500 nits. Samsung touts it as the world's brightest self-emissive display. Naturally, it's not tech in 2026 without AI in the mix. Samsung also revealed some new TV AI-based software. For example, AI Sound Controller Pro is going to let you mess with the volume of background noise, including music and crowds, to provide you with a personalized listening experience. As a purist, I hate this. Not to be left out of the CES fun, LG previewed their 2026 OLED TV lineup featuring the new G6 that boasts a more advanced tandem OLED panel with about 20% higher brightness and greatly reduced reflections, and the C6 series, everyone's favorite, now upgraded to tandem OLED. Big-ass TVs, bright-ass TVs, and even flat-ass TVs? LG also showed off its ultra-thin wallpaper OLED design with the LG OLED Evo W6, a wireless 9mm thin OLED TV that sits flush to the wall and pairs with a separate Zero Connect box. Finally, Amazon said, we like that TV too, and debuted the Ember Artline TV, a thin, art-focused 4K lifestyle TV with a matte screen, customizable frames, and Amazon Photos integration. Ready to directly compete with Samsung's frame TVs. Thank God, because they stink, you know? I've said it. Plus, Amazon is kicking off 2026 with a major redesign of Fire TV's interface and mobile app that's meant to be cleaner, faster, and easier to navigate. Now let me usher you to our sponsor, Saley. Strive, James Strive, International Man of Mystery. In my line of work, staying connected is mission critical. That's why I use Saley. My downloaded my eSIM once and it works across borders without the hassle of swapping SIM cards when I land. Whether I'm visiting one country or many, a single, global or regional plan keeps me connected to over 200 destinations while assassinating roaming fees. Yeah! Saley would be great for anyone with a mission at CES 2026 in Las Vegas. Plus, I never blow my cover with suspect SIM sellers. With Saley, I'm connected the moment I arrive on iOS or Android with 24/7 support. Quiet, reliable, and always ready, just like a good spy should be. Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saley eSIM data plans today. Download the Saley app and use code TechLink at checkout. We like that one. The Quick Fits are angry they didn't get to go to Vegas with a big crew, but they keep it professional. They showed up today, focused and on task. Back all your rally raised and bragging. Western Digital's WD Blue and WD Black SSD branding is officially dead, with SanDisk replacing them with a unified SanDisk Optimus lineup. The new range introduces 3 clear performance tiers: Optimus, Optimus GX, and Optimus GX Pro, to better differentiate mainstream gaming and high-end NVMe SSDs. I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I demand to know if these drives can transform into a truck or gorilla. If they can't, what are you even doing, SanDisk? More companies are reacting to rising RAM prices. In an interview with Reuters, Samsung co-CEO TM Rowe said that this situation is unprecedented and no company is immune to its impact. Rowe didn't dismiss the possibility of increasing product prices, noting that some effect was inevitable. Outside of CES, that inevitable impact is already here, with Taiwanese retailers already raising laptop prices by roughly 15 to 20%, following ASUS's announcement of higher notebook and gaming PC prices starting January 5th. That's today! To be clear, we're not just talking about ASUS. Laptops from Acer, HP, Dell, MSI, and Gigabyte have all seen price increases. At least Taiwanese retailers aren't copying Corsair, which sparked backlash by canceling confirmed orders for DDR5 RAM kits due to a pricing mistake and lack of stock, but then relisted them at much higher prices before offering apology coupons that were already expired. High performance RAM, terrible customer service. AI is everywhere at CES 2026 with a ton of stuff, leaving us asking, why is this even a thing? First, and almost certainly most importantly, Amazon's Alexa Plus finally went public in early access, but AI is also showing up in coffee machines. Samsung teased its wild AI OLED cassette player and turntable, blissfully bringing AI to a scene usually occupied by people trying not to deal with AI. GE unveiled its smartest fridge ever, with a built-in barcode scanner for effortless grocery shopping, and AI even snuck into an ice cube machine. We're reaching a Rule 34-like moment here. If something exists, there's a version of it with AI built in. The shareholders are the PR nightmare continues for XAI as multiple countries are now investigating the organization in the aftermath of Grok generating sexually explicit images of women and minors. France, Malaysia, and India have all either opened investigations or issued orders to the company after Grok was caught generating CSAM. X's response? It allowed Grok to issue a user-prompted heartfelt apology from the Grok account, which was somewhat undercut by the fact that it had also issued a user-prompted statement that it was absolutely not sorry, telling users that it's revolutionizing tech, not babysitting sensitivities. India gave X 72 hours to fix it or lose legal immunity from liability for user-generated content, meaning X would be legally liable for all the content people post on the platform, which could result in Elon Musk getting sued by Nintendo over all the Super Mario Brothers fan art I posted back in high school. A lot of chemicals in my body. Microsoft has quietly killed phone activation for Windows and Office, forcing everyone into online-only activation tied to a Microsoft account. We're done here, boys. The support site still lists phone activation as an option, but if you call the number, you'll get a message saying support for product activation has moved online, as YouTuber Ben Kleinberg discovered. So if you're trying to activate Windows on an old machine without the internet, your offline alternative, according to Microsoft, is now going online.
Oh,
I know people
I
say
lost
this
money.
This might actually
Where
be
do I know where my money goes to?
Man, all this talk of Linux and Vegas has me in a gambling mood.
Okay, I
I'm in
finally
the
got
casino.
some.
Don't forget to come back tomorrow for more CES coverage. That's right, 5 nights of tech news, baby. Line them up.
All new Kinder Joy collections.
I'm just waiting so that I can.
Surprises.
Well, I have a good bit of money here.
Did you think I was kidding when I said I'd see you again tomorrow? when the dealer offers more tech, I always say hit. AMD showed up to CES this year and chose violence against itself. The company announced the Ryzen 7 9850 X3D, the new fastest gaming CPU, which is kind of awkward because the CPU is taking that illustrious title from the 9800 X3D, which is also an AMD chip. The company claims about 7% uplift in performance over the already fast 9800 X3D. Very meh, and it's pretty much meh across the entire roadmap this year. But hey, FPS is extra FPS. Any port in a storm. Laptops did not get left out. AMD refreshed their CPU lineup with the Ryzen AI 400 series, including business-focused silicon that's supposed to make spreadsheet crunching enterprise class, which I think means your boss won't yell at you for using Teams on 25 separate Chrome tabs. Of course, it wouldn't be CES without AI being duct taped onto everything. AMD unveiled the Ryzen AI Halo for developers, a mini PC designed specifically for AI development, jam-packed with their latest Ryzen AI Max Plus CPUs to compete against NVIDIA's DGX Spark. They also released the Ryzen AI P100 series, an embedded processor range made specifically for physical AI. Because if there's one takeaway from CES 2026, it's that even your fridge will have an LLM like Q3. Great. I've always wanted a fridge that can listen. Stupid sexy fridge. Intel's CES spotlight has been on its Core Ultra Series 3 chips, codenamed Panther Lake. Wow. Why'd you guys write that in there? The first major PC processors built on Intel's new 18A process node, aimed at boosting AI, graphics, and general performance, along with efficiency in laptops and handhelds. Panther Lake's top SKUs pack up to 16 CPU cores and 12 Xe3 GPU cores, with Intel claiming up to 60% better performance and battery life that can push around 27 hours in certain scenarios, all while underscoring Intel's push back toward being full-stack in-house silicon maker. But James, what about the gaming, James? Tell us about the gaming. Alright, calm down. Unfortunately, Intel didn't show off the rumored Arc V770 GPUs at CES, but they did unveil XeSS3, the newest version of their upscaler that supports multi-frame generation. On top of that, they unveiled the new Intel Arc V390 integrated graphics found in the higher-end X7 and X9 chips, a major upgrade on past iGPUs. Intel is claiming strong gaming performance here, about 73% faster on average than AMD's Radeon 890M in early demos, and performance sometimes even rivaling discrete laptop GPUs. Plus, it's going to use the aforementioned XeSS3, so the sky is the limit for this little guy. We're really rooting for him. Apparently, Intel is working on hardware-specific variants of their chips for handhelds, which had some outlets claiming that Intel murdered AMD with its Arc V390 mobile graphics. It's so crazy that it's transformed from a superpowered villain into the scrappy underdog I find myself rooting for. They're like the Piccolo of the tech world. They're probably raising NVIDIA's son, Gohan. Speaking of NVIDIA, they mostly doubled down on software and display tech, showing off big DLSS 4.5 upgrades and unveiling G-Sync Pulsar gaming monitors. DLSS 4.5 is the next evolution of NVIDIA's AI upscaling and frame gen tech, rolling out a sharper second-gen transformer model with cleaner edges and less ghosting. Plus, a new dynamic 6x frame generation mode designed to push bust and refresh rates like 240 Hz at 4K. Full 6x frame gen is coming later this spring on RTX 50 series cards, while the improved super resolution is also landing on all RTX GPUs via a new driver update. NVIDIA says over 250 games and apps support DLSS frame generation right now. Over in Monitorland, NVIDIA's G-Sync Pulsar displays are launching around tomorrow, packing variable refresh rates plus innovative backlight strobes and adaptive brightness tech to drastically cut motion blur and give clarity equivalent to that of a monitor with 4 times its base refresh rate. You got it? G-Sync Pulsar is debuting with partners like Acer, AOC, Asus, and MSI, and if you want to meet this episode's partner, watch this. Y'all know me, I drive truck. I spend my life on the road, crossing borders, chasing deadlines, and the last thing I've got time for is SIM card hassle. So I use Saley. I download the eSIM one time, and it keeps working mile after mile, border after border. With global and regional plans, I don't worry about roaming fees piling up while hauling loads through new places. It'll be great for trucking hot new tech to display at CES 2026 in Vegas. I stay connected, no hunting for Wi-Fi at truck stops, and no falling for sketchy SIM sellers. It works on iOS or Android phones, and if something comes up, 24/7 support is ready to help. For activities, directions, dispatch updates, and peace of mind on the open road. Saley just makes sense. Get an exclusive 50% discount on Saley, eSIM even trying to sneak into Riley's luggage. They're so quirky. They just love them. Laptops. It wouldn't be CES without oodles of laptop announcements. Some are powerful, some are innovative, and some are just a little wacky. For example, Asus has teamed up with Kojima Productions on the limited edition ROG Flow Z13 KJP. It's decked out with Death Stranding themed art, but probably won't help you bottle your pee. That's a Death Stranding.
Vivo is 5 times more attractive, working 24/7 to kill 99.9% of bugs trapped, with no odor and no mess. We got a Vivo!
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Oh, that's good.
Thales is a global leader in cybersecurity, securing what matters most. At Marshalls, our buyers hustle 24/7 to get you great deals on the good stuff.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays, because a city hotel is right for some. But
Other laptop highlights include Samsung Galaxy Book 6 series, which they claim has an up to 30-hour battery life, Acer's Swift Edge with a giant haptic trackpad, and Schenker's semi-modular Panther Lake Element 16 that's made to be easy to upgrade and keep for the long haul. Oh god, framework, look out! They're coming for you! Lego is also modular, and they showed up to CES this year to show off their new Lego Smart Play System, a platform that packs serious tech into regular old Lego bricks. At the center is a standard-looking 2x4 smart brick hiding a tiny custom 4.1mm ASIC, complete with sensors, RGB LEDs, a speaker, wireless radios, and inductive charging. Using magnetic smart tags and a low-latency BrickNet mesh, builds can react to movement and interaction in real time with synthesized sound effects. The best part? The whole thing runs without needing a connection to a cloud server, and it gets its firmware updates via a companion app. They specifically didn't want AI. They leave that to the fridges. Amazon rocked up to CES with a snazzy new trailer from Ring. Literally, a trailer. A literal trailer. A Ring mobile security trailer. It's a solar-powered LTE-equipped surveillance system with 6 cameras attached to it that allows for full 360-degree coverage basically anywhere you want to park it. Alongside that, they also rolled out new Elite multi-camera systems, a sidewalk-connected car alarm, and a lot of smart sensors, all conveniently stitched together by Amazon Sidewalk. All in all, it seems like most of this would be genuinely useful, as long as you're cool with your neighborhood being one big mesh network for Amazon and Ring that you are automatically opted into. Remember the Chaos Communication Congress? Well, another hacker torched a white supremacist dating site, literally described as Tinder for Nazis, live on stage at that same event while dressed as the Pink Ranger. Using an AI chatbot trained to flirt using, quote, traditional values, the hacker known as Mark Baruch lured users into chatting, harvested data, then ran a Python script to delete Whitebait and other related platforms in real time. The audience cheered as the servers vanished to this shadow realm. Get this LLM in my fridge. And CES 2026 has had a wild mix of health tech. For example, C2's longevity mirror that scans your face and gives a quick snapshot of your health outlook. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Should I take 911 call? Also got Ixie's autofocus to automatically change their prescription alongside Allergen Alert's Pocket Meal app that tests food for things like gluten and common allergens in minutes so you can eat out more safely. I've been looking for an excuse to eat out more safely. For the diabetics, there's Abbott's Libra Assist app that predicts how foods will affect your glucose in real time. Still, the best health tech at CES has got to be Moore's Taint Band-Aid, which aims to track sexual performance and sensations with a small wearable, turning intimate data into app-based feedback. Probably not the only feedback getting fed. You know what I'm saying? Sex. And you should plant your taint back in your chair tomorrow for even more CES coverage. I have to go have a conversation with the Quick Bits about some of their frankly frightening recent behavior. We get it, you wanted to go to Vegas, but you gotta grow up eventually, you know? Running away, smelling around these underwear, come on, guys.
Vivo is 5 times more attractive to plots.
Get one of these Jimmy John's sandwiches, chips, and a drink for $8.99. Oh, that's good.
The name's News. Tech news. And just like Bond's new video game, today's stories require hardware that doesn't exist. Let's get into it. In a refreshing bout of corporate honesty, Dell showed up to CES 2026 and basically said, our bad. First, head of product, Kevin admitted that people don't actually care about AI PCs, stating that it's become clear that consumers
consumers are not buying based on AI. After a solid year of every tech company screaming AI PC at us like a pack of seagulls fighting over French fries in a McDonald's dumpster, Dell just stopped. Their CES briefing was described as the most pleasingly un-AI presentation in 5 years. Imagine that. A hardware company talking about actual hardware instead of chatbots. Second, remember when Dell killed the XPS brand last year and renamed everything Dell Premium? Well, everyone hated that. Sales tanked, and the COO openly admitted the rebrand was a mistake. So now, XPS is back with a full redesign. The new XPS 14 and 16 are Dell's thinnest laptops to date at 14.6 millimeters, sporting the Intel Panther Lake chips, and they've gone all in on Intel Arc integrated graphics. No discrete GPU options at all. The displays can drop to 1 Hz during static content, which lets them achieve a reported 27 hours of battery life. And they've shaved almost a full pound off the XPS 16. Prices for these new laptops are starting at $2,049, with the XPS 13 returning later this year at a lower price point. They also dropped a huge 52-inch 6K ultra-wide monitor for $2,900 for when you need to look at every single spreadsheet. All the spreadsheets. Wi-Fi 8 is apparently already here. While it won't technically be fully released until 2028, companies are already showing off products using the new standard before everyone has even had the chance to adopt Wi-Fi 7. Leading the charge is Asus with their new ROG Neocore router concept. This weird D20-shaped AI router will apparently improve range and latency for gamers using Wi-Fi on their battle stations, and it boasts twice the data throughput recorded with Wi-Fi 7. Can the AI part help me hit a nat 20 on a fumble rule? Let's hope! Meanwhile, Zixel is already pitching Wi-Fi 8 to carriers and enterprise customers with its AI-ready connectivity gear, with the goal of future-proofing clients years ahead of the new rollout. Even the silicon makers are getting on the train early, with MediaTek revealing its new Filogic Wi-Fi 8 chips that likely will be seen in most of the networking equipment that comes out in the next few years. While the full benchmarks for these new standards haven't been fully released yet, the big thing all these companies seem to be pushing is that the new generation is not going to show a massive jump in network speeds. Instead, the focus is on the reliability benefits of the new spec. And honestly, if you're your family's resident tech expert this holiday season, you might even trade some speed for increased reliability at this point. CES storage news wasted 0 time getting weird. Connor, the long-forgotten 90s hard drive manufacturer, showed up with products that look nothing like traditional hard drives, including a phone backup drive and a bizarre hybrid gadget that's part external drive and part 65-watt charger. It's kind of like a second computer that plugs into your computer to make it compute better. But it's a cube. And not a computer. Kind of weird. Right next to that, we get a glimpse of where modern SSD design is heading, and it's surprisingly minimal. Micron unveiled the 3610, making the industry's first PCIe 5.0 QLC SSD. Packing up to 4 terabytes of storage into a tiny, single-sided, DRAM-less M.2 drive that can still somehow push about 11 gigabytes per second. It's an OEM-only model for now, but hey, if it's cheaper, then that's a win-win in my books. That announcement pairs nicely with Phison's new DRAM-less Gen 5 storage controllers, which reportedly offer big savings in power draw, along with an 8 terabyte capacity. And then there's Hohem, the company best known for professional camera gimbals, casually dropping one of the most creator-focused drives at the show. Their new SSD-1 offers all the regular things a USB drive normally would, but comes with an expandability option that the company says marks the first time you can actually upgrade the storage on an external SSD. Another neat feature is the dedicated microphone input, allowing for direct audio recording. Clearly this thing is designed for people on the go. You know what? Kind of like our sponsor.
This holiday season, I was stuck in a Home Alone style situation, trying to get home with my kid while juggling flights. And one thing I didn't need was a disconnected phone, which is why I use Saley. You download the eSIM once, it works in every country you pass through, no swapping SIMs, with global and regional plans you stay connected in tons of places without racking up roaming fees. It's great for taking irresponsible detours to visit CES 2026 in Las Vegas instead of rushing home to your abandoned child. There's no dealing with SIM sellers who can be as shady as the wet bandits, and no wandering for Wi-Fi. Just reliable connections on iOS or Android. With Saley, I can focus on getting home safely instead of want to get home though, to get an exclusive micro machine. To get an exclusive 50% discount on Saley eSIM data plans, download the Saley app and use TechLink. The code TechLink at TechLink checkout.
Kevin! The first rule of QuickBits is that you're not allowed to talk about QuickBits. The second rule of QuickBits is do not talk about QuickBits. But here's the QuickBits. New rumors suggest NVIDIA is prepping to bring the RTX 3060 back into production in Q1 of 2026, as memory shortages and sky-high prices refuse to calm down, adding credence to earlier board channels' claims that the company's supply of factory-new 3060 is running low. Funnily enough, this lines up nicely with what NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang said when asked by analysts about pricing pressure, floating the idea of resurrecting older GPUs and maybe even backporting newer AI features to them instead of waiting on bleeding-edge silicon. AMD isn't immune either. During a CES Q&A, Ryzen chief David McAfee was asked directly about soaring RAM costs and replied that reintroducing products back into the AM4 ecosystem is something AMD is very actively working on. So if you missed buying those parts during the 2021 chip shortage, now's your chance. IO Interactive has unveiled the PC system requirements for their upcoming James Bond game, 007, First Light. The intro makes sense now. And fans were shaken, not stirred, to discover some of the listed hardware just doesn't exist. The minimum specs called for an Intel Core i5 9500K, which Intel just never made. There is an i5 9500, sure, but there's no K variant. Meanwhile, the recommended spec demanded a RTX 3060 Ti with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Except that card only came with 8 gigs. Even setting aside the phantom parts, these specs are pretty brutal. 32 gigabytes of RAM and 12 gigabytes of VRAM just to hit 1080p 60 FPS.
Ritz Drizzled Minis. The salty sweet combo of your dreams.
You had me at Ritz. SafeLight can do it all. Repair, replace, and recalibrate anywhere you want. Go to SafeLight.com.
I earned my degree online at Southern New Hampshire University.
It's possible to raise a family, to pursue other things, and still further your education.
And you can do it too, from all over the country.
I live in Massachusetts.
I live in Texas.
I live in California.
I live in Pennsylvania.
I'm from Florida.
I'm from Virginia.
In North Carolina and St. Louis.
I'm from Tennessee.
And I'm in Georgia.
Regardless of where you live across the country, earn your degree at SNHU.
Visit snhu.edu.
Attention, if dealing with your insurance company causes one or more of the following, you may have Insuranoia. Don't wait, call NJM today.
Hey, it's your skin. CeraVe, developed a dermatologist, cleanses and removes excess oil with niacinamide and 3 essential ceramides. CeraVe prevents disruption of my barrier.
CeraVe foam and cleanser.
And now, but at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised if you need to get one of NVIDIA's new Rubin supercomputers with some of those goo pods from the Matrix as a power supply. Luckily, the game doesn't launch until May 27th. And at the rate that Tesla, Unitree, and NVIDIA are hurling us towards Matrix dystopia territory, we might be getting those pods sooner than you think. Elon Musk's xAI is having a bit of a week. Governments across the UK, EU, France, India, Brazil, and Malaysia have all launched investigations after researchers found Grok was generating thousands of deepfakes an hour, including images of minors. These governments stated that it was illegal, appalling, and disgusting, calling for immediate action with regards to improving safeguards on the chatbot. X's response? It was to threaten their users. The company released a statement saying that anyone prompting illegal content will face consequences, without giving any details on how they plan to improve safeguards. As this rolling train wreck continues, Musk announced that Tesla will build its own 2-nanometer chip fab, claiming that wafer isolation meant traditional clean rooms were unnecessary, and promising to eat a cheeseburger and smoke a cigar inside of their new facility. We here at TechLink look forward to witnessing him destroy a $60 billion machine the same way I destroyed my 1997 Honda Civic back in high school, by hotboxing it and dropping a Big Mac into the transmission. Samsung is in hot water after a Texas court issued a restraining order blocking the company from allegedly using automated content recognition to capture screenshots from smart TVs without proper consent. The lawsuit claims Samsung TVs could grab screenshots multiple times per second and monetize viewing habits through ads. This comes after a string of lawsuits towards other major TV brands for spying on Texans, although those lawsuits didn't end up with restraining orders. except for Hisense. They got one. Samsung hearing is on the 9th, with the actual order expiring on the 19th, meaning that the company has only 2 days to getting on up over to Texas and lawyer up to explain why their TVs are seemingly watching themselves. It's the year of the keyboard turducken at CES because these keys are stuffed. Corsair unveiled the Galleon 100 SD edition, a mechanical keyboard with a full 5-inch Stream Deck LCD built right in, plus 8K polling and dual rotary dials. Keychron also dropped their Q Ultra series with 660 hours of battery life and also 8K polling. Because, you need a keyboard to be able to play your 9 or 10 consecutive playthroughs of Baldur's Gate 3. HP responded with the EliteBoard G1A, a full Windows 11 PC crammed into a keyboard. It's got an AMD Ryzen AI 300 chip, 50 plus tops of MPU performance, upgradable RAM and storage, and Wi-Fi 7. CES gave it an Innovation Award for finally making computers portable. Let's ignore the laptops, of course, and mini PCs, and you know what? Ignore the Raspberry Pis too. And that's the tech news. If you need me, I'm going to be hunting down an RTX 3060 Ti with 12 gigs of VRAM. Dr. No and Goldfinger must have teamed up to steal the world's supply. Moneypenny, start my 1997 Honda Civic and get me my Big Mac.
It's day 4 of our CES coverage, and I'll admit it, I'm losing it a bit. I'm more machine than man now, twisted and evil. But I know you guys want that tech news. Robots. NVIDIA's keynote focused on AI and robotics, and a handful of robot cameos. But how about everyone else's bots? Qualcomm just unveiled a full robotics tech stack, built to power everything from home robots to industrial machines and, of course, humanoids. And were there ever some humanoid bots around the CES show floor this year? LG showed off their Cloyd home robot designed to help with household chores. And now it can also recognize faces.
This is
Cloyd,
and good.
that's my worst uncle. If he tries to high-five you, you just roll away, pal. Stiff that guy. Not to be outdone, SwitchBot unveiled Onero H1, another robot butler, but this one comes with modular
Let's
attachments.
guys look back to us on my each videos, and this video I'm going to be showcasing how powerful this nice iPad is.
They're
So
also
yes,
a
this
takeover industrial manufacturer.
this
Case in point, Boston
yeah,
Dynamics
for sure.
production-ready Atlas, which can now carry heavier components while maintaining balance and is powered by Google's Gemini AI. This brick house is headed to Hyundai factories for 2028 to start building cars, making it even more clear that some robots are definitely coming for some human jobs. Outside CES, robot sports are booming. As CNN notes, humanoid bots racing and playing soccer are really showing how fast this tech is advancing. So athletes might be losing some of their jobs soon too. Sorry, LeBron, you might not get to play basketball until you're 50 after all. Did you see the Onero H1's physique? I bet that thing can hoop! It wasn't just human-looking robots that we got at CES. We also saw a bunch of oddball droids built for doing chores or whatever the hell the Lynx M20 Pro all-terrain robot is meant to do. It actually won an Innovation Award, and although it might just seem like a robot dog that can stomp or roll its way through the desert, once you see it jump on a set of stairs like something out of a skateboard video, you might find yourself saying, screw it, give this thing a trophy.
And then out on this one.
So what you gonna do? You're gonna take your favorite salad and you
And
stuff
then
it, yeah. Stuff it,
full
yeah.
macaron.
Stuff it. Say stuff it and make any salad stuffer. Use salad stuffers at Panera.
Own a vacation rental? If it's not listed on Booking.com, it's invisible to millions of travelers on our platform. Don't let your vacation rental be invisible. Get seen, get hooked. On Booking.com,
It is powerful, it just takes a long time. Since it is 4K 60 FPS 100 bits, it's like over 1 hour of just footage, including that
As
as
for more practical
recorded.
bots, we got Anker's new UVS2 robot vacuum, which doubles as an aromatherapy diffuser, so your house will smell clean and smell nice. La-di-da. That's very fancy. But can it climb stairs? Because Roborock's new experimental
spikes your cortisol.
Yeah, but it's good for your liver.
Pro tip, magnetic hydration.
Cardio ruins muscle gain.
Hey, standing ruins your knees.
Sleep is overrated.
Sitting is hard on your head.
It's just a start.
Meet iPhone 17e. A whole lot for a lot less. It comes in soft pink, black, and in white, with a new A19 chip for almighty speed and power. And bang, it's black. 3 times screen-resisting ceramic shield too. And long-lasting battery life for hours of working your mind, hours of working your body, and hours of watching this guy work his mind but not his body. And here's the new 48-megapixel Fusion camera to take next-gen portraits of your cat, and 2 times optical quality zoom in on your cat. And shift focus from this cat to that cat with stunning bokeh.
What's bokeh?
Bokeh refers to aesthetic quality of the blurred part of the photo.
Thanks. And it has double the starting storage, so you can keep thousands and thousands of beautiful photos. And it comes with Apple Intelligence to answer questions like,
What's this?
and remove that, and translate French. And it can be charged like this, or with MagSafe. And help you put up shelves and see in the dark, and send messages like this, and message for help. And press this to record, and record your steps, and wake you up. And a whole lot more. All for a lot less.
My client's been more than fair.
Kind of impossible to describe what it's like to be diagnosed because I was 37, the statistical chance of somebody my age having Parkinson's is so low that you just go, this isn't right, it can't be.
Look, I deleted Garrett.
Wait, hold on. That's too